The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Trenches Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, this program starts now. Football! It's happening tomorrow, but football conversations will happen all day today on this particular program. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you are fantastic. We got two breaking news out of the NFL happening today. Anthony Richardson, quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, officially going on to the IR. He'll be out at least 4 weeks, but they're giving a window from 4 to 8 weeks for his return. Not great news, obviously. We hope you get healthy over the next 4 weeks.
Good luck, Anthony.
He has a sprained AC joint in his shoulder. Whenever he went down live and in person while watching on TV, we thought maybe he had a broken collarbone, maybe a torn something ligament in there. Instead, it's a sprain, 4 to 8 weeks. Where will the Colts be with Gardner Minshew being the starting quarterback for them? 5 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, 7 weeks from now, we shall see. And also, this phenom for the Miami Dolphins, running back Devon Achane, has gone to the IR. He'll be out for the next 4 weeks. Jeff Wilson, though, back off of IR with Mostert, with McDaniel's big brain. We assume the Dolphins will still be a wagon, but they're losing out on a rookie running back who was on pace to break pretty much every rookie running back record in the history of the NFL. He will sit down now for the next 4 weeks. There's also a lot going on, and I got all the boys here. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, what's the shirt there?
This is from an Italian restaurant in Chicago. Not exactly sure how to describe the name because I don't speak fluent Italian, but it is a kind of a dressed up mouse, and on the back it's the back of the mouse.
It's an Italian waiter mouse, yeah.
You see it? You see the back of it?
I couldn't see it. I don't think we can still see
See it now?
No, we couldn't see it. Oh, yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, I see he's got like back.
Oh, that's like very clever.
It's like front of shirt, front of mouse. Back of shirt, back of mouse.
So it's like, grazie, prego,
Bingo.
parmesan,
Buongiorno,
mozzarella.
meatballs.
I appreciate you wearing that shirt. This is the weirdest shirt you've ever worn on this particular show.
This one's up there. Yeah. Also, the only white short I've ever worn on this shirt.
Smart, it means you're getting thinner.
Yeah,
this kid started to believe in his body a little bit.
Go.
You know, I wear dark because white would potentially make all my potato sack look like a potato sack. Great shirt today. Weird. I think a lot of people would say weird shirt.
Good.
Not really in your wardrobe normally, but love that you brought a little Italian flair. And Ty, your face is peeling.
Yeah, like horrendously so. I feel like such an asshole. Should have put sunscreen on Saturday. We kind of talked about it. I just said, I'll be fine. I have sunglasses. Why would I need to put sunscreen on? Boy, I should have put sunscreen on because, yeah, it's not fun when you just go like this and you got about 10 pounds of snow falling off your face.
Yeah, the good news is sun still has its fastball.
It does.
And in Texas, we just ate it. Just completely. You chose with your face to do so.
Right.
No hat, no nothing.
Nope.
A lot of us on our neck and our
Oh,
Bruce Brown's nose is currently charred to a crisp right now.
Yeah.
So people in Texas, I'm sure you already know, put sunscreen on.
Yeah.
Put sunscreen on. Sun's still doing it out there, which I think is a surprise to all of us. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. Tone gave us a bunch of betting trends yesterday, pretty much. It's going to make us smarter.
Hopefully.
Have we learned anything hockey-wise about what we need to bet on after first night? I got it. Not the Penguins. What is this all about? We stink again, Nick? The Chicago Blackhawks got a 14-year-old leading their team.
Yeah.
Guy is smaller than everybody on the ice. He gets an assist. He's great on our show.
Yeah.
The Pens stink. We lose 4-2. We had a 2-0 lead. We stink. I don't want hockey season to be over, Nick. I would like to cover hockey this year, but if the Pens are going to lay this type of crap on the ice, we're not going to be able to talk about it, Nick.
Pat, I don't want to overreact, But it's the same shit new season. Blowing leads, not managing the puck, not being able to score on a backup level goaltender. It's frustrating.
Backup. We're not getting pucks deep with the lead.
Listen, we need pucks on net,
Right.
skates on ice, hands on hands in the stands.
Yeah.
We need celebrations.
You need guys that aren't 40 years old. That's what you need.
You
all right? You got a bunch of old geezers out there, all right?
The only old
new
geezers
league,
you should
baby.
be talking about is the old geezers that were good for the Red Wings.
The Pens era's over. You know it, Pat.
Wow.
You're a loser.
I will say, hockey had a hell of a start last night, though.
yeah.
A lot of goals, a lot of action. The Vegas Golden Knights celebrated their banner getting dropped. Will the team please go to the slot machine? I know the hockey people were not happy with all the semantics of what was going on before that Vegas Golden Knights game, but I like the fact that we pulled a sword out of some wet rock. Watch the thing drip. There's this bunch of water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like when you go to the gas station, you put the windshield wiper thing in there.
yeah.
They're pulling that sword out. Stoner looked great.
Yeah.
The boys had a night. They obviously go on to win. That game's over about 12:30 Eastern time. Tampa Bay gets a big win over Nashville. Chicago Blackhawks beat the Penguins. There was one man on this stage that called the entire thing. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, hockey Nostradamus, Darius J. Butler.
Go Colts.
Hey, you're 3-0 right now in picking hockey games. Let's keep doing that.
Should probably stop right here.
No. Keep
Heat-
riding
heat
that thing.
tonight.
And joining us every single Wednesday this season is a guy that used to play offensive line, but now he looks like he's probably a kicker or punter.
Stinks.
His brain is still massive. He's host of In the Trenches. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. Okay, AQ, you obviously played center guard. I don't think you ever played tackle. Maybe in high school, one time they put you out there.
Yep.
But at college and the NFL, your arm's too small to be a tackle.
of course.
But you're great in the interior of the offensive line. You won a Super Bowl. You coach offensive linemen. You're in the O-line community, I think, through and through, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is this bullshit? Tell me what this is in
Just that.
2023. Tell me what this is. We got offensive linemen flopping on prime time Monday Night Football. Max Crosby's obviously a dog, and he's going to be, doing everything he can to get under people's skins. But when did it become okay for offensive linemen to be flopping all over the place, AQ?
Listen, when you sent this to me the other night, I was so disappointed. They say in the locker rooms nowadays, the old guys, right? The crusty old vets.
Yeah.
They sit there and
Yeah,
they
the
say,
front yard yell at the crowd.
the guys that went through it, the two-a-days, back when football was
Hell
real
yeah.
and
Yeah.
hard. They don't make them like they used to. That's what they say. They don't make them like they used to.
Now, that guy got a first down for his team,
Great job by him.
Big.
which I think everybody's going to
Great job by him.
He got more first downs than some offenses have
Yep.
as a whole.
New England.
But this is something we don't normally see out of the offensive line community. And it's
No.
almost going to, this is going to be the new norm, it seems like. So congrats to your position also falling
tough
into
to watch. Tough
Way
to
to
watch.
go.
Your
Congrats,
offensive
AQ.
linemen are getting soft now.
Yeah, and skinnier.
The league.
Whoa.
Slow
League.
down.
A lot of rule changes.
Trent Williams, too?
League is getting soft, safer.
Soft- whoa.
Safer. That's
Okay.
What's soft?
there it is.
It's almost like in the middle of that, you forgot what the script was. Remember
I
this?
mean, it is what it is. I appreciate it. For us, obviously, you're going to be done playing. You got to walk around and play with your kids and have a long life after. But, when you're in there, when you have that helmet on.
It's gladiator mentality.
Yeah. Sure.
I do appreciate, though, that Max Crosby probably got a little bit befuddled for that. He took over that game. He's a guy that is a game wrecker. There's another guy that just came into the league out of Georgia playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously, during his draft process, a lot happened.
Yeah.
A lot happened during the draft process, both physically and mentally tasking on him, and I assume a lot of different situations. But he got drafted to the right place. There are stats now coming out that Jaylen Carter, of the Philadelphia Eagles, has 25 pressures already, 9 more than any other rookie defensive tackle in their first 5 games during the next-gen stats era. Just give him the Defensive Rookie of the Year now. Now, I do believe we're all on the same page, but I don't think those particular stats were something we fully understood. 25 is 9 more than any other rookie defensive lineman's ever had in the history of the NFL. Why has he had so much success so quickly? And how do you stop that particular guy? And what type of career is he at his best already, or is he going to only get better somehow?
Listen, we were talking before the show. During the draft process, I compared him to Chris Jones. He's as good as Chris Jones right now. Right now. At least what he's doing right now. Now, will he hit the rookie wall? Who knows? But what he's doing and their ability and their scheme with the other guys they have on their defensive line, their ability to get him in one-on-one situations especially against the center with the mismatch you can have there. It's incredible. He's getting pressures. He's disrupting. He's becoming a game wrecker already.
So what is he? He's just fast, strong, quick.
330, fast, strong, quick. He's got it all, and he's got pass rush moves, which a lot of times rookies come in, they don't have that because they're so used to just being able to press people or be able to, run around guys on the edge. But once you develop moves, then you get pretty good, right? This guy's got it already.
In college,
unbelievable.
He was going against pretty good O-line on Bloody Tuesdays. So
yeah, down there in Georgia, I would say that probably helped in the SEC. You're talking about his hand movement, though. Yeah, he's like an MMA guy whenever he's in there already.
That's something you see Mathis and those guys, even with the gridiron gang, like you're always working those hands. He's just natural. He has a lateral quickness, like AQ said, the explosiveness. He's a finisher, too. He's not just getting there. Like, he finishes when he gets back. He's a dog.
It feels like Philadelphia is the right place for him to land as well, because Sirianni has really brought out the best of him. And also, there's 15 Georgia Bulldogs there?
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of people that he knows, especially with what he was coming through, went through, how it was all going. Him getting dropped into a familiar place and a coaching staff that appreciates everything he's about has obviously made him great. Good for the Eagles. They lose Sue.
Yeah.
Right? And Dominican Sue was there last year. Signed on.
Hargrave.
Lose Sue, lose Hargrave. What do you got? Oh, now we got Fletcher Cox and a guy that they're calling a rhino.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they just reload. Good for Howie over there.
Well, and the rookie wall, you guys can probably speak on it more, but I assume it's because, that happens to players because they use them, they overwork them. Like with the Eagles, their defensive line rotation is so good that it's hard to imagine he hits a rookie wall like everyone else does just because they don't need him for, every single down. He can come in and do what he's been doing, just wrecking every single game.
Let's talk about game records on the defensive side. Micah Parsons responded to George Kittle with the T-shirt that George Kittle had underneath his pads on Sunday Night Football. Obviously, we asked George Kittle about it. At first, he said, yeah, it was just on my loop. Didn't know what that was. Then he said he was paying homage to throwback.
Yeah, someone from the 1994
Niners team that had a similar shirt. And then Micah Parsons answered on Micah Parsons' podcast, where Micah said, you're making this personal pretty much.
My guy, but I'm going to say this. Laugh now, cry later. We got something for that. Just trust. If we see them again, just trust. And we're going to put it just like that. I ain't going to put too much on it. You're going to make it personal. We can make it personal.
So then, right after Micah answers George Kittle, Debo Samuel is on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams. And this is what Debo Samuel says in response to what Micah said in response to what George Kittle did.
I think,
How personal is it?
It was already personal before the game started. Now, 42-10, I don't think you want to see us again. It might be a little bit worse.
Okay, so that is something that normally you'd hear players say, it's fun. It's that Debo's just it was what are we talking? It's going to get personal. Well, for one side, it felt already personal, which is the Niners. They're the ones that won by 32 points. Maybe the Cowboys should have made this personal going into the game, but then the Niners don't back off at all. Nope. Don't say, hey, it's all good. It's like, it might get worse next time. I love everything about what's happening right now, and I enjoy the culture that this Niners team has.
Yeah, I love the shit talking. And now it's obviously going to be something else surrounding this game if they see each other again, which, we assume they will at some point down the line. But I love it. Get on the podcast now. Do I love getting on the mic talking about it after losing about 32 points? Not so much, but Parsons is a dog. I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Micah had to talk about it. It's his podcast. It was definitely going to get brought up. It was going to be something he had to chat about. You're saying he could have said, well, when you win by 32, you can do whatever you want, and then just move on to the next one.
Hey, like you said, it's his podcast.
Hey, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
I appreciate the shit talk. Shit, we got to talk about something.
Me too. Yeah. I am very thankful that Micah's like, oh, okay. Is that what you want to do? Now we know. And then I like that Debo did not back off at all. Kyle Shanahan obviously didn't tell the boys, hey, we just kind of bout. Debo's like, we beat the shit out of you guys.
Yeah, right.
Killed him.
Just shut up. How about that? Next time it'll be even worse. And I truly feel like the Niners feel like they're only going to get better and better at this point somehow.
That's what why would they back off? They could say whatever they want and there's going to be zero repercussions because they can back up literally anything they say. They could say anything about any game, about a wide receiver, quarterback, running back, about the opposing defense. It doesn't matter.
We used to talk about this with Bama fans. Whenever Bama was on their run, it'd be so much fun to be a Bama fan during that run because you could literally talk to anybody at any point and just say, Yeah, my team's going to beat your team's ass. And you had a good shot of that taking place. And for decades, you just got to celebrate every single week. And then whenever a loss came, obviously it was devastating, but we'll get you next time for sure, for real. Now the Niners are like that. Their fans can talk shit to anybody. It's what the Patriots fans were able to do for 20-some years. Now the Niners, who have not won a Super Bowl with this team, are seemingly in a position to be able to do the same exact thing. Good for them getting to experience that right now.
Yeah, and I love the shit talk back too. Like it is awesome that instead of like the cookie cutter answer that we usually get, like, probably shouldn't have done it, all that. Nope, standing by it, think it's awesome. And for Micah, I assume there are a lot of Cowboys players that are like, yeah, Micah, you're one of the top 5 players. Like, I got to go block Nick Bosa when we play the 49ers. So if you keep pissing them off, it is going to be worse because I'm not going to have a chance.
That reminds me of an incredible time. We were kicking a field goal, and it was the end of a quarter. So we had to go to the other end. And there was a D tackle for the other team. I forget what team. I think it was Baltimore or Minnesota. It feels like there's purple in my brain. I don't remember. Was walking next to me, and he started shit-talking me. Okay, this guy started shit-talking me. Huge dude, like 360 pounds or whatever. So I'm not one that, like, I look at him, I go, what's that, buddy? And then he starts saying something. So I just go into the Rolodex, and I start firing back at this guy, right? 360, 330, whatever it is. What's he going to do, fight me in between the quarters? No way he's going to do that. So I keep saying stuff. I said some pretty, I was going for murder scene.
Headshot.
And he was bringing it back. And then all of a sudden, he lines up now, and he's screaming at me through the guard. Okay, through the field goal thing. And I'm like, oh, shut up, talking to him. And then set, boom, kick, ball goes through. We walk off. Guard comes up to me. Hey, listen, a lot of fun for you, right? Just to be able to say whatever you want. Yeah, I'm the one that he had to take. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
So I heard you said some good stuff. Yeah, obviously got to brag him.
Yeah.
Way to go. You won the little chirp session, but I'm the one who almost got my knee blown out because I'm the human. So maybe next time, let's not. I'm like, ooh, my bad completely. That's a situation happening here potentially with Micah, with Kittle, with the Cowboys, with the Niners, because if they had 11 Micah Parsons on the Dallas team, which feels like what the Niners do.
Pretty good.
Bingo.
Yeah. That's like what it feels like that's what the Niners have. It would be a different story. What do we think the top is for the Dallas Cowboys this year? I've become, you said you think they're going to meet later. That would mean they're getting to the playoffs.
I think they get to the playoffs.
Okay. So that's what you think. That's good. I think they make it to the playoffs. AQ Shipley, you think the Dallas Cowboys make it to the playoffs?
I do not.
Ooh, why? You think they stink?
Who else?
I think they've lost a very good football player in Diggs, and I think that changes the outcome on defense. And I think you're starting to see what can happen, right? Like the Niners, they do it to a lot of teams, right? They put the blueprint out, and if you can attack the edges and kind of hit them where they're soft a little bit there, and then on offense, every time Dak's in this game, everybody, every news media, every pundit, let's see what Dak does on the big game. Does he ever deliver?
Jets, he did. Jets was a big game.
Jets,
Yeah, it was.
Tampa.
Jets, he 32 completions, 2 touchdowns, no
Do
interceptions.
we have their schedule? If I can look at this, I think they make it to the playoffs. So it's 7. It's going to be 7 in. I think they'll be. I don't think they win the division. Obviously, Eagles take the division, but they get in, and then I guess going to do what Dallas does.
They're currently, like, if the season were to end today, which is stupid to even say, but they are currently in the 7th seed.
I appreciate you saying it's stupid to say, and then you said it anyway.
Yeah.
I love it.
Preface.
For talking
But, like,
point, they are currently sitting in the 7th
When
seed.
you look
right
at the
now.
teams below them, it's like...
Go ahead, roll them off.
Sure. 8 is the Saints, Packers, Rams,
team.
Commanders, Bears.
Rams, yeah.
Better
Rams, maybe.
With Cup back.
Packers, maybe, huh, Ty?
Well, maybe. I mean, at this point, though, it is kind of like any of the teams that are kind of on the fringe there, 7 seed in the playoffs. It's like, do you really want to go and then either have to play the Eagles or the Niners, and you're probably going to get beat by 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with the Packers. I think it's a little bit different with the Cowboys, but if they're in that position where they have to go play the Niners potentially if they don't get a bye in the first round, like, that ain't gonna be good for them.
Congrats to the Niners not making the Super Bowl in the last, 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years?
Yeah, 2019.
4 years, and still being the team that everybody's like, you have to beat the Niners at some point.
Yeah.
You have to beat the Niners at some point. You're going to have to beat the Niners at some point. And what do the Eagles do? They just continue to win.
Under the radar.
Just win, undefeated, do what you got to do. The NFC seems to have its 2 top dogs. The AFC, though, seemingly open. Now, I know the Miami Dolphins are up there at the top. I think the Buffalo Bills in London is going to be, an outlier. Hopefully, we will hope that that's the case, and they'll be completely back. You think about what Baltimore just had happen to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You think about the AFC side with the Chiefs and what they're able to accomplish.
Bengals.
We have no clue what the AFC side's going to do. But what I do know is that Tom Brady said he saw Bill Belichick, and it's the same Bill Belichick. And although New England might be turning his back on Bill Belichick, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you are not.
New England fans have basically said, all right, Bill, we are moving on. This is what Tom Brady had to say about Bill Belichick on his Let's Go podcast, hosted by
Jim Gray,
who asks incredible sponsored questions.
Yes, he does.
And it sounds like,
well, Tom, I don't know if you've had lunch yet today, but if you haven't, Golden Corral's buffet is actually only $10.99 this week. So, maybe you throw for 1,099 yards next week if you go to Golden Corral this week for $10.99.
And also, Tom, what are your thoughts on?
And what do you think about Bill Belichick this week?
And this is what Tom Brady had to say.
He's still the same coach. He's doing the same things. He's still coaching the same way. So how do you think he's dealing with this mentally? How do you think that he is handling this?
Tom looks
when
good, by
everything that he's about is the exact
his best
opposite?
version.
I think the results are different from what they've been from, but I know that he's still got the same, work ethic. He's got the same coaching style. And, I think the thing that as I watch not only the Patriots, but a lot of other things, football's a hard sport. It was very different when I was in there because I could control a lot of the outcome. When I'm sitting here watching from afar, I realize, God, there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that need to go right in order to have team success. And I was a part of a lot of those teams. And, I didn't take any of those things for granted. I needed a great defense. I needed a great kicker. Obviously, I needed a great coach. I needed great receivers and a great O-line. If I was going to be successful as a player, I needed all those things. And I was fortunate to have a lot of those things over a long period of time. The teams that lose, they're putting a lot into it. The teams that win, they're putting a lot into it. It's a relentless sport, and there's nothing is given to you. It's all hard. Losing is hard. Winning is hard. To be in it year in and year out is hard. To lose and have a horrible season is very hard.
That's from Let's Go on Sirius XM, the Mad Dog Sports radio channel, I do believe, more specifically. But I appreciate the fact that Tom's like, now that I'm watching these games, wow, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some guys really good in some places, and then their coaches are just putting them in terrible positions. Then you see some teams that's good, and then the offensive line is horrendous. Then you get a team that's in a situation, they miss a kick. It never happened to me. I remember the ball always going through the uprights. I remember always being put in a position to succeed. I remember my offensive line always making things happen. When the defense needs to get a stop, even on the goal line, when Russell Wilson is under center and Marshawn Lynch is in down, they need to make it happen. It's like I feel like Tom is getting a chance now to look back on how fortunate and how lucky he was for that dynastic run. Do you agree whenever you hear him talk about that?
100%. He's right. I mean, the good teams and the worst team, they put in the same amount of effort, the same amount of work. You've been on bad teams, you've been on good teams. What's the difference? It isn't very much. It's this much. And that's what people don't realize. And obviously, he's having the chance to see that now as a fan. He understood it as he was going through it as a player, but I think now he's.
I don't think he understood it. I think he just.
Maybe not. You're right.
I do this. I show up. We win.
For sure.
I do
Just
this.
expect it.
I show up. We win.
Yeah.
Variables.
I do my job. We show up. We win. Now he's watching these games like, why don't they just
Why aren't they winning?
just win?
Yeah.
He owns the Raiders now.
Great.
He owns the Raiders now, and obviously they get a big-time win over the Packers. But I can't wait for him to watch the Raiders and just be, why aren't these guys just winning? Like, what is going on? For 20 years, we were able to just, you do this, you do that, then you win. Now, Bill Belichick was certainly a part of that, where he's talking about his work ethic and how much he's in it. I think a lot of people around Bill are potentially hoping that Bill will experience what Tom has experienced. Like, hey, Bill, why don't you step away from the game a little bit, get a little different perspective on it, and go like, oh, I beat the game. I did really good. There's nothing more for me to do. Although I feel like Bill thinks he's got to build one more championship team. He was asked about the quarterback situation in his press conference, and we are in prime time Bill Belichick press conference season. Here's what he had to say about the change of quarterback.
Will Mac Jones be starting?
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
What were you able to accomplish yesterday?
Work on some of the things we think will help us in the game, help us play better football.
What were you able to accomplish? We worked on some things I think will make us better play football. Next question. Why Mac Jones? literally just answered it. Okay, didn't I? I'm not doing the song and dance the entire time. As a Patriots fan, you hear Mac starting again. What is your thoughts?
Love it, but I want to go 1-16. So I'm glad we're not making changes because we are on the road to a top 3 pick. Let's stay on that road. Let's stay the course. To your point, I do think that both of them, Brady and Belichick, probably will look back and not really understand how they did it. I don't know if they
I think so,
know.
too. I think they will think to themselves. Yeah, they'll probably drink. What does Tom drink? Like some
Tequila.
avocado? Oh, he drinks tequila.
He's a tequila guy. Just from the boat parade. That's what he said. He was.
So when he's winning Super Bowls, he'll drink tequila.
Right.
We assume. I don't know if you saw. Seems like his face is settled in.
Yeah.
Right? Hasn't it?
Looks great.
He does. He looks phenomenal.
Glowing.
That was not Bill.
Not Bill,
That's
no.
Bill.
He also
Belichick.
looks phenomenal.
I don't know. Bill seems to really.
stressed.
Football seems to be really wearing. Tom looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
There was a couple weeks ago where people were starting to say some things about how Tom looked and everything like that. Would like to let Tom know as of October 11th when you look incredible, Tom.
It's great.
You look really, really good, Tom.
Congrats.
But do you think there's going to come a time where he's having his little avocado juice that he just squeezed into a cup and Bill Belichick's probably drinking, I don't know, a whole bottle of whiskey by the time he's done with this entire thing, and they start chit-chatting about how lucky they've been, how fortunate they were, the different wins that kind of came out of nowhere? How about when Vinatieri made that 40-yarder in the middle of a blizzard where physics tells us still they have no idea how it made it? It's like that type of thing I hope they have a chance to really look back and reminisce on. But right now, Bill Belichick's in the middle is still trying to create that thing. Again, will they ever be able to do something like that in New England?
Yeah, once Bill hangs it up, obviously, but.
Whoa.
No, once he hang it up, like you said, once he's out of the thick of it. But like Tom talked about, like when he's from the outside looking in, you forget about all the different variables. And we obviously talk about sports every day. Everyone does. But, like, it's humans in there. Like, you talk about it in the trenches. Aaron talks about it from the quarterback position. You talk about the teams. I talk about it from the secondary. Like, you can call whatever. You can put that work in. But everybody got to go out there and execute every play. And that, 2 to 4 seconds is going to make the difference every game. And it's tough. But when you have a guy like Tom who can control so much, you can control the protectors, you can control where I throw to, the coverages, how you practice, what's the culture in the locker room, guys showing up late, not showing up late, like all those different things, and it becomes habit. So they'll appreciate it when it's all.
You think Bill will be able to build one up again?
Not in New England. Because I don't think they'll ever lose enough to get another quarterback. Like,
So-
they got lucky with Tom.
This is like the Pittsburgh Steelers situation as well. Now, granted, obviously, Pittsburgh Steelers didn't have the dynasty that the New England Patriots had for 2 decades. And everybody that was in the league, I think, was so baffled how these guys have continued to just win games and how they continue to get lucky when it came to health and injury. Like people would get hurt on every team. But whenever key positions get hurt, then it's like season completely off the rails. We had it this year, but then we lost said guy here, and we had no chance. For some reason, the Patriots were able to just kind of withstand that for 2 decades. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, I guess, are doing the same damn thing. How many straight consecutive hosted AFC Championship games or something like that?
Every single year.
Yeah, it's like 5 straight AFC Championship hosting it.
Since Mahomes has started. The first one he hosted was the last one with Brady in the past.
And they've won 2 Super Bowls, and they've had to battle with injuries with Patrick and Travis, and they've had lost players. They lose the best wide receiver in all of football. We're in the middle kind of watching it happen here in Kansas City, so I guess it is possible again. But if you're just meddling at like 13, 14 draft pick, it's going to be hard to get, I guess, the weapon changer that you're going to need to change the entire program.
Bingo, and that's why I want to be terrible. And like Debo just
Would you go through another 12 weeks of your
Absolutely.
team just being absolutely garbage?
Without question, I would. Without question, I would lose 34-0 every single Sunday for the rest of the year if that meant we got Drake May come April, because that is the only way to be in it. Like, we're talking about teams who are in it. Brady and Mahomes are the 2 dynasties. They're 2 of the best quarterbacks to ever play. Like, you can't go with a guy who isn't not just good, like exceptional. Like, look at Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes. That's just one.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
Hurts, Purdy on the other side. But even just to get to a conference championship
AFC
game,
you're saying,
yeah, it's like you have to beat all these guys. And like, I like Mac Jones. 3 weeks ago, I was a Mac Jones believer, and I still think he could be good. But if you were to, I don't think he'll ever be a Josh Allen or a Mahomes or one of those guys who is at the top of
What
the
did
league.
Dan Orlovsky say about Mac Jones?
He said if you put him in San Francisco right now, he is Brock Purdy.
He played. No, he didn't say. He said
maybe
he played like
he's
that.
like Purdy.
Yeah.
Why you put words in my mouth?
Well, he said he'd play like him. Brock Purdy is currently, the odds-on favorite to win the MVP in a lot of places. So if he were to play like him, he would be the MVP favorite right now.
But now, I think what Dan was trying to say is, Bill O'Brien is not Kyle Shanahan, and the weapons that the Patriots have are not what the Niners have.
Fair.
So he was trying to point out that what Mac Jones is going through is vastly different than what Brock Purdy's going through. If you give Mac Jones the setup that Brock Purdy has, he'd be playing like that, is what he said.
Right.
So then he calls us. He goes, "Why you put words in my mouth?" It was like, "What did you say?" He said, "I said he'd be playing like that." Like,
that is.
Are you saying he's playing
At a
like?
potential
No,
MVP level.
I never said he's better than Brock. I just said he'd be playing like that. I'm like, Dan, I don't know if you're making your case better or worse right now, but the decision making that Brock Purdy does is his best trait, I think. Now, obviously, having the weapons that can get open and having Shanahan do his thing is obviously a weapon, but Brock Purdy is like this. He's not getting paid anything, so the salary cap can do whatever they can do. And then the decision-making, I think, is the most impressive part of AQ Shipley.
I think it's the anticipation. I think that's the one thing that you see from him is he knows where the ball's supposed to go pre-snap. So he can just sit there, smooth, get back to his drop, put the ball in a spot and let those guys go get it. The scheme helps, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like they can stick with the run game. He's never
How
in
come
a
everybody
situation-
doesn't just do that scheme?
Because you have to have it. And that's the other thing we got to talk about with
just
Bill.
do that scheme.
Need the guy.
Just do that. And just do what the Niners are doing.
And that's the other thing, right? Like we talk about this. So whenever I played and you're in a pass-happy offense, right? You spend the majority of your time working on pass plays and pass protection and all this stuff. They spend 90% of their practice working that zone scheme, and that is the only way you can get good at it. And you have to do it physical, like physical practices in season, which a lot of teams don't want to commit to, right? So they have to buy in completely to that whole thing. They do it. It continues to work, and they got a quarterback now that's
dealing,
lighting it up, lighting it up.
And he
practice too. That's a good point. That's a big part of the whole dynasty thing too. We heard about Andy Reid, how he runs practices and training camps, and like those Patriot practices were hard too. Obviously, when Brady's there, we condition after every practice.
Hell yeah,
everybody can't run that scheme. You heard George Kittle when he came on and talked about him being in it 7 years and having great job by John Lynch as well, finding those type of players that can handle all those moving parts, all those different plays. Hey, Kyle Shanahan, you're putting me in 7-8 plays that we haven't even ran.
He said on Saturday and Sunday.
Everybody can't do that. Everybody it's certain teams, or you playing with a lot of young quarterbacks are playing. You can't do that with young quarterbacks. So it's a lot that goes into that shit.
Brock Purdy, very young, able to handle it all, which is another part of the whole like that thing that, Dan Orlovsky said, where it's like, come on, Dano. Although we appreciate Dano.
You know who would kind of, I mean, just thinking about it now, maybe not Mac, feels like Gardner Minshew would almost be unbelievable in the 49ers scheme as well.
We're not trying to get Gardner anywhere but the Indianapolis Colts.
That's true.
Hey, we need him for the next 4 to 8 weeks.
But-
and honestly, I think there's a chance he goes undefeated the next 8 weeks.
Then what?
Certainly possible.
You start Minshew in the playoffs, or do you go back to AO?
Oh, yeah. If he goes 8-0.
Yeah, we're going Minshew mania, pal. We're running wild all over everything.
For sure.
He's putting balls right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Right. That's what Gardner Minshew's doing. Right now. Everybody needs to know that. We watched it live. It makes no sense because he's not that large.
Kind of a little fellow.
Physical stature. So he goes into that huddle. He kind of disappears in there. And then all of a sudden, he walk out and you just see the moxie just radiating from within. It's like the football gods cast sundown on his beautiful frame and his mullet and his hair going out. And he just is in complete control, has zero worries at all. And then he'll have somebody in his face, can't see it, and he bends a football around a guy right there.
Yeah.
I love this Minshew mania.
So good.
And it feels like if the first 5 games is any indicator in Anthony Richardson's career, we are going to have to be paying for a pretty good backup quarterback for the rest of his career. Let's just keep Minshew in Indianapolis for the next 10 years or so. Well, Jim Sorgi was a great film guy, homework guy, comes out there, does his thing. Also good at cards. I believe he was a pretty good fisherman. Solid golfer. Good boozer. Love Jim Sorgi. But I don't know if he has what Gardner Minshew has. And remember, Gardner Minshew's been yearning for this moment since when he was in Jacksonville and he was selling out that stadium, taking the place over, and then boom, full rebuild, get the hell out of here. Let's pivot away from the NFL, although there's plenty of stories to chat about. Let's pivot away from the NHL, okay? Because the Pittsburgh Penguins suck again.
Game 1 of 82. A lot of hockey left.
A lot of hockey left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're not fresh now and they can't close out games game 1, I don't know how they're going to be 81 at the age of 50.
You got next year, don't worry.
Chicago, shut up. You guys got the next 15 years with this Connor Bedard guy. He's awesome.
So sick.
Leaves the locker room without his stick.
Yep.
They got a camera just following around. Whoa. Need a stick? Where's it at, boys? And then how about when he goes up for the puck drop and the ref goes, all right, boys, this is the actual opening puck drop of Connor Bedard's career against Sidney Crosby and the Penguins last night. The ref, Scott, what's his name? Scott something is the one talking here.
Hey, Sid, welcome back for another season. Connor, welcome to the NHL, man. Thank you. Okay, guys, it's showtime.
All right.
Let's have a great game.
It's on. Kelly Sutherland, I believe, is his name. That was a great way to start. I love the way hockey refs kind of interact, but it is difficult to know that the Penguins probably not going to be in Stanley Cup hunt, which sucks.
Won the
just to know.
face-off. Clean win by Sid there.
Yeah, clean win.
Yeah, I think he beat Connor every single time.
Nice.
That was
Still got it.
That was an alpha moment here.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 35. You are not.
Just try to take
I
a
am
win
taking
there,
the puck away from your face. I guess Connor Bedard didn't win any of the faceoffs last night. Sidney, as a rookie, did not either. That's a strength thing, I think, that's potentially happening. I'm sure he'll figure it out. But what an electrifying start to the NHL. Let's pivot away from the NHL, away from the NFL. Let's go to college ball. Ladies and gentlemen, the college football season has been electrifying. And this year, there's been one piece added that everybody has said that it's absolutely lifted everything around it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this week's General's Top 5 College Football Program. General Bob Carpenter is here. General, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, man. I was just enjoying some of that NHL talk, little NFL talk. I mean, clock management, figuring things out. And you know why Gardner Minshew is so great? I mean, Pat, he's got the best collection of jorts you're going to find anywhere in America.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about my George collection, but you're right. I do believe he and I have had conversations about what's covering our thighs. And last time I talked to him at training camp, he just loves ball, dude. Like just all things football, loves it. And he also has this perspective that like don't know when the last snap's coming. So, like, trying to make the most of everything. Perfect guy for the situation right now in Indianapolis, Bob. Perfect guy.
Absolutely. My buddy Schleggs was down with him in Jacksonville. He goes, man, he's, like you said, he loves ball. All his teammates love him, and he plays like he's got nothing to lose because once you've been benched a couple of times and everybody thinks you're no good in a backup, well, what are they going to do? Send you back to being a backup again? You're the only option they have anymore.
And also, he was not scared to live in like a rattled RV.
Yeah.
He wears jorts. I don't think he spends a lot of money. He's just this like hippie character. It's like, you fire me. Who cares?
Whatever.
But he's out there slinging it for us. Let's talk about college football, though. Let's dive into your top 5. Any big changes that we need to expect, or let's just dive right in here?
Coach, we got some changes.
Whoa!
We got a little mix-up. This is what season is. Everybody's finally getting their conference slates, and you were just down in Red River this week, so I know you witnessed a great one. Starting off at number 5, we've got OU. That's the Oregon Ducks, University of Oregon here. And so that's a nice little deal for them. They're coming in. They're coming off a bye. They've got a huge one this week, Pat, out in Seattle, Washington, taking on the Washington Huskies. I've said this for the last couple of weeks. I think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12. They can run the football. They have 230 yards on the ground, but plus, man, their defense is stingy. They're better on defense than I think a lot of people believe, so I've got them at number 5.
Okay, so taking on Penix in that Huskies offense where 3 wide receivers averaging over 100 yards per game when they're playing. Not everybody's playing every single game because of injuries and everything like that. You think Oregon's defense is going to be able to handle the explosive offense of Washington?
I think they'll be able to slow them down enough. And the key thing for Oregon is when you look at them, they can run the football and they've got a good defense. So they don't have to race them to 70. I mean, teams that are good can play different ways. Now, I don't know if you need more personalities than Billy Milligan, but you have to be able to run it sometimes. You got to be able to throw it. You've got to be able to do some different things. I know you like that drop right there,
Yeah,
Pat.
it's pretty solid, yeah.
Monsters inside. You're going to watch that. He's from my hometown of Lancaster, Ohio.
Okay,
but they can win in a multitude of ways, which is what I like.
Okay, so number 5, you go to Oregon. We'll be out there for game day in Seattle. 4.5-hour flight. Can't wait to get out there.
Damn.
I've heard that people in Washington really enjoy me as a human, too.
Sure.
So I'm excited to take the long haul out there and do our thing. That's a big one for the Pac-12 in their last year of being the Pac-12. Who's the number 4, General?
All right, number 4, a team that you just watched in Dallas, Texas. I thought Texas was one of the best teams in the country when they went down there into the fairgrounds and took care of business. I have the Oklahoma Sooners taking care of it. Hey, they jumped up there. Dylan Gabriel's a one-man show with what he was able to do through the air and then making big plays on the ground. You don't expect him to rush for 100 yards plus every game. But the real key to me, that Oklahoma defense last year, Pat, was bad. And Brent Venables, people are talking about him. If they don't get it cleaned up this year, they're in trouble. And look at what he's done, man. He went in on the biggest stage, game day, in front of God and everybody in the state of Texas and got it done. And, man, you got to tip your cap, and I've got them at 4.
We got Stutzman joining us actually at 2:15 Eastern Standard Time. Stutzman, the linebacker who got the upside-down horns tattooed on his thigh, was also the one that gave the pregame motivational speech. Also the leading tackler, I think, in Big 12.
Yeah.
And also the guy that was in on every single play as we watch live. Can't wait to chat with him. Congrats, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I thought Texas was going to be too big, too strong, too fast for them. This felt like the year the Texas team was built to go on a run. And to do that, you got to be big in the right places. D-line, O-line, got to have explosive playmakers outside and a quarterback that can do his thing, let alone a running back, which they certainly have. But Oklahoma, size for size, matched up with them. Speed-wise, matched up with them. Gritty, technique. Dylan Gabriel never blinked. It was fun to watch that Oklahoma team. And I think a lot of us didn't know what the Oklahoma team was. Nope. We apologize. Because we were just assuming Texas, they get that Alabama win. They've kind of proven themselves already. Oklahoma, they still have last year's kind of stink on them for what happened last year in Venable's first year. Massive win. I'm happy you showed them a little respect on your top 5 because I enjoyed watching them play football. There were some dogs, dude. Some dogs on that team.
They got players, man. And like you said, Pat, they got smoked and embarrassed last year. And I think now what's setting up, we might have a collision course with Texas and OU, the rematch. And so we'll see how that shakes out. But both of these teams should win out. And if that's the case, they'll be playing for a Big 12 championship.
College football playoff spot on the line there, probably.
For
at
sure.
the end of the season. Yeah, that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. Who do you got at 3,
Absolutely.
General?
All right, number 3, we've got the Georgia Bulldogs. They slid down a spot this week. Nothing
down a spot. They played their best football.
They did play really good football, but there's a couple other teams that played some really good ball too. But Georgia, Carson Beck's hitting his stride. He's been playing really, really well. Their defense finally stepped up. This was the first complete game that I saw Georgia put together. And here's the thing, man, there's a lot of mess at the top of college football right now. So trying to parcel this out, man, is incredibly difficult. That's the first time I've seen that Georgia run defense look like they did, last year and probably the year before. So I feel better about where they're at. They got Vandy this week, and the problem is, I don't know, even against Tennessee, if we're going to really figure out what this Georgia Bulldog team looks like.
I feel like the Georgia Bulldogs team feel like they figured out who they are this past weekend. And the Kentucky run game was their whole thing. Ray Davis had 200 and some yards, 189 after contact the week before. So we were excited to see if this Georgia defense is going to be the Georgia defense of pass. They show up. And Carson Beck, he's 6'6".
Yeah.
Huge. Dealing. I mean, he is absolutely dealing. Brock Bowers is still Brock Bowers. Tone Diggs, I believe, is looking at some stats right now at Georgia, or no?
Yeah, I was just looking at the last 3 games. Beck has been unbelievable, and it's because he's decided, hey, let's just throw the ball to Brock Bowers because he's the best tight end potentially in the last decade.
Smart play. We don't mind it. I like the fact that you slid Georgia down because they're going to hear this and be like, oh, is that right?
Okay, General.
Back-to-back national champions.
Yeah.
Just played our best game of the season. People are saying Georgia's back. General's like, not so fast, my friends. Who's the number 2, Bob?
All right, number 2, it's just because they have been incredibly impressive as well. Their schedule hasn't been a ton to write home about either. But I got to give credit to the Michigan Wolverines and what they've been able to do. Since Jim Harbaugh's been back, man, they've been able to pound the rock. And what is really impressive is J.J. McCarthy, if he doesn't throw interceptions, he's got the athleticism, he can buy time. And I think that they've been playing as good a football as anybody. Now, their schedule hasn't been crazy tough, but if you look at what they've done, they've been competing, and I believe they've covered the number in every single game this year.
Blake Corum's still Blake Corum, too, I do believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown-wise, he is, yes.
Yeah, so Blake Corum's back. They run the ball. Harbaugh's got the boys buzzing. Michigan at 2. That's one Big Ten school. I assume there's going to be another that's about to pop in here at 1, Bob?
Well, Coach, I mean, they've had one of the biggest wins of the week. They were taking on one of the top-ranked offenses in the Big Ten and one of the top in the country. His brother is quarterbacking the highest flying offense in the NFL. That's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, taking down the Maryland Terrapins, man, they were averaging 350 yards through the air. I give that defense a lot of credit. The offense was slow at first, and this is what they have that I think they probably haven't had the last couple of years, man. Their defense is able to step up and get stops when they need to and make those big plays that maybe they hadn't been making before.
Is Oppenheimer still a linebacker for Ohio State?
Eichenberg, you mean?
There it is.
Boom.
There it is. He's the A-ball, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy is the absolute. Eichenberg still over there? The boys still flying around?
They're flying around, dude. They're making some plays. They need to get a little clean the linebackers up a little bit, but I got my boy James Laurinaitis. He's on the case. James Laurinaitis is on the case. You can ask AJ about him. He's doing his best Luke Fickell impersonation. So he's going to have those guys cleaned up and ready to go here in a couple weeks against Penn State.
Now, General, I don't know if you heard this or not, but Maryland's opponents going into this game, I think were like 3-50 or something against Power 5 schools. So everybody was making this to be a big game because this was Maryland doing Maryland stuff, and Talia Tagovailoa is the guy. Here we go. And then they run into the buzzsaw that is Ohio State. I think Ohio State people wanted people to not hear that what Maryland had played against was not that great. But even though Maryland had not had great opponents, you still saw something out of that game that makes you believe Ohio State has what it takes to go on and win this whole thing this year?
I think Maryland's the fourth best team in the Big Ten. And I don't know if they can beat Michigan or Penn State, but they'll be able to give them both a run. They're going to challenge them. They can score the football. And the biggest thing is this is the best they've been defensively, especially up front, in quite some time. So I know they haven't played anybody yet, and that's part of the problem. 6 weeks in, there's still teams are trying to figure out who they are. But that Maryland team, this is pretty good. They're pretty good. And this is Michael Oxley's best squad.
AQ, I saw you getting all upset over there about Penn State not being in the top 5. You wanted 3 Big Ten schools in the top 5?
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. It's the best conference in college football right now.
There's one SEC team in the General's top 5, a Big 12 team, a Pac-12 team, and 2 Big 10 teams. That is the state of college football in 2023, though, which is why this season has been so much more electrifying than maybe seasons past. Everybody feels like they got a shot. Everybody feels like they got a chance. Does Penn State have one, you think, Bob? Does Penn State have one?
Oh, Coach, they're a really good team, and in 2 weeks we're going to find out. I mean, the best thing Ohio State's got going for them is the fact that Fox does the big noons, so Penn State can't have the whiteouts against them in Michigan anymore, and they have Penn State at home. Because I'm going to tell you this, you can ask AQ. You got to go there sometime, Pat. If you ever play a night game in Happy Valley in a big moment,
special,
man, you can't hear yourself talk from me to my computer screen. You got no space at all.
We are Penn State. He does that in his living room.
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
At his house. When he's watching he does that at his wife actually records him going,
You got to watch sometime. If you look at that upper deck, Pat, when they're doing that, that thing is swaying about 4 or 5 feet up in the air. I'm sitting there looking at it thinking, I pray that this thing doesn't collapse. It is an electric and rockets environment. So when they get the little songs going, dude, it is crazy. AQ's seen it.
And they're a cult, too. They're blinders on.
Oh, yeah.
They are all the way in. I don't know if you saw James Franklin's press conference yesterday. He was asked about why they're not taking more deep shots. Here's James Franklin interacting with a reporter who's been covering Penn State for how long?
At least since I was there. I mean, 15, 20 years.
So this is not a high schooler that head coach of Penn State, James Franklin, is interacting with, or a college student. This is a grown-ass man asking a football question to James Franklin.
Last question from Zoom, Corey Geiger.
Hey, good afternoon, James.
Hey, Corey.
A follow-up to what you were just asked there about Drew. Is there a balance, though, between, hey, we need you to throw the ball deep no matter, just take a shot. Don't overthink it. Take a shot. We need to see it. We're going to call it. And we need you to get some confidence in doing this as opposed to even giving a young quarterback the chance to say, hey, just check it down if it's not there.
I don't really understand what you're saying because we would never. Like my skin is curling when you say just drop back and chuck it deep no matter what. Like that is like – I don't even know what you're saying. It's like you're speaking like from
just
Mars.
Send the guy on a post pattern, take the shot, throw it.
No matter what.
Give your receiver a chance to make a play on a ball. Even if he might be covered 30 yards down the field, maybe you think he'll be open 45 yards down the field and like Godwin did or with Jahan or KJ.
I still don't like you're speaking Japanese. We have never done that. just throw the ball up and maybe he'll be open and maybe he'll catch it. Like my skin is like you're making me uncomfortable. Like I don't know what you're talking about. So
Okay.
yeah, we would not do that. We would never do that. We've never thought about doing that as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, as a receivers coach. When I coached the receivers, I didn't want them to do that. So no, strong no. Like, yeah, no. I'm hoping we can cut this out so this doesn't even like get out into the universe.
You can't. It's live.
Yep.
I love college football because how many people are invested and want to see a team succeed, and it's their lifeline and generations of everything. I also enjoy the fact that James Franklin just got so obnoxiously uncomfortable. As that question's happening, he's moving his hand, and then he starts hearing where he's alluding to, and it's just...
No.
Why is this human allowed to speak in my press conference? What is he even talking about? Are things good for Penn State? We believe that they're, even if Drew doesn't throw it up into double coverage, the Ohio boy, we think Penn State's still going to be able to go on a run, General?
I think so. They're a good team. It'll be really interesting.
Can James Franklin win? AQ?
We're about to find out. 2 weeks.
Can James Franklin win? Because that was a great press. He won that press conference.
That was awesome.
He won that moment with the Zoom call. And I know what that guy was alluding to, by the way, because you've heard other coaches say once a quarter, we need to be throwing it deep just to keep defenses honest. Like, even if it's not there, we need to script in a deep ball, which I think is what he was getting to. Now, James Franklin did not hear that. No, he heard something much different. But can James Franklin win the big one? That's the big question, right?
That is the big question. I mean, I think it's like 2-20 now at this point or something like that against top 10 teams. So
1-0 against Corey Geiger there, though.
Yeah, he won that one.
Undefeated.
He won that one. That was awesome. That was
so
awesome
it's
to
Penn
see.
State, Ohio State when? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. And hey, you even missed it earlier in that presser. He threw like a tacit knife to the back of Michigan, talking about buying out of contracts with big non-conference games. Didn't call him out by name, but there's some nice audio of that you're going to want to stumble upon, Pat, because he was on fire yesterday.
James Franklin's feeling himself. Let's keep it going. 2 weeks from now, they get a big win over Ohio State.
Whoa.
Oh, get those mics ready to go. Any gimmicks we got this week, General, we need to keep an eye on?
Coach, I got 2 gimmicks for you. And I don't normally like to call out, coaches or programs in a negative way. I'm a positive guy, but Pat, especially when you've been in special teams, clock management is number one. So I've got my Flavor Flav. We're going to put the clock on. Mario Cristobal, Coach. Pat, I know you've been out there on punt team before, and they say, do not punt that football until there is 1 second left on the clock. Do not snap it. You've got to know, you've got to understand, and especially you've got to know when you can just take a knee. Everything that happened after that, that's going to be all on you, man. And I hurt for those players who lost. Granted, they made some mistakes, but you didn't need to snap it.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, General, that's like elementary stuff. If you get to 2 minutes left with a first down and the other team doesn't have a timeout, guess what? Game's over. Yeah. Like, that is the goal that every team is trying to get to. Trying to get to 2 minutes, other team, no timeouts, we need a first down, this thing is over. That's elementary, I feel like. When I came into football, my junior year of high school, feels like that was something in Pittsburgh growing up we knew because we're NFL town and everything. But that's just like low-hanging fruit of like, what's football information I should know? Boom. Now I'm getting paid millions of dollars to coach and teach football to people. Should I know? Yes.
Yeah.
And then immediately after the game, got to keep 2 hands on the ball. It's like, buddy, that was an ineptitude at a level that I don't think any of us could have expected. Especially, you said you feel bad for the players. I feel bad for the coaching staffs. Yeah. I feel bad for the school. They're undefeated. Miami was back. This was, here we go. And it, like,
Coach,
yeah, go ahead.
You're the offensive coordinator, and he signals in and tells you to call a play. Like, play.
No.
What are we doing?
Here's the play.
Victory knee.
Here's the play. Give me a linebacker to go stand back here and run back and tell him to do a backflip if he has to. We're kneeling this thing out. We're getting a dub. You should be putting your players in a position to win. That's the only thing that you should be mattering or thinking about. And obviously the complete opposite happened. But college football is riddled with those situations. I think if you look around, like if we were to start snooping around at coaches making low football IQ decisions in college, I think we would have a 7-hour show. The Mad Hatter back when he was at LSU, it was every week.
Every week.
It was every single week.
Yes.
There was some timeout flub. There was some run the clock flub. There was some too many men. There was something happening. It's like these dudes are getting paid millions of dollars to be football coaches, and there's some elementary stuff that's happening. Cristobal will learn, though, right, from it?
Well,
he actually did it before.
Yeah, he's done it a couple of times.
Something he's done before. Anyways, what's the other gimmick there we got, Bob?
All right, I got my Kanye West coming home because you love a good homecoming story. We're going with the Louisville Cardinals, Jeff Brom. And unfortunately, took down my guy, Marcus Freeman. But you want to talk about a raucous environment down there in Louisville. They call it, I was looking at some nicknames. They call it the Derby City, the Falls City because of the falls outside of there.
Beautiful.
Dude, you got Louisville Sluggers, the home of Muhammad Ali. Like, you got to go with the Slugger City right there with what they were able to do on Saturday night against Notre Dame. That's a huge win for a guy going back to his alma mater.
Yeah, good for Brom getting this thing rolling. We saw last year at TCU, Sonny Dykes' first year. Goes in there. They end up going on a run all the way to the finals. It's like, how the hell did this guy pull this off, put his culture in, get his players in, get his offense in, and get everybody to buy in? Brom's been able to do that at Louisville in a beautiful fashion. Massive dub over Notre Dame.
Huge.
And what a Notre Dame moment there.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? That's you lose to Ohio State. You don't lose again.
Come back.
Probably still in the conversation.
Yeah.
Then you lose to Louisville on primetime. It's like, it's going to be tough to kind of sneak Notre Dame into anything, although I do believe they have a great team this year. Hey, Bob, you're fantastic at what you do, pal. We appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it, Patrick. Have a great show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the General Bob Crosby.
General!
If you don't know by now, I'm talking about Chi-Town. Sad news out of Chi-Town this morning.
Yes.
Former teammate of ours, former friend of ours, Sergio Brown, has been arrested for the death of his mother, in which he has been on the run for the last couple weeks with everybody looking for him. They found him in Mexico. He was then deported to San Diego. Now he's being transported back to Illinois. His mother, Myrtle, I met her. I knew her. Yeah. She was a wonderful woman. Sergio and I spent a lot of time together back in the day. I think I speak for everybody that played alongside Sergio and has been friends with Sergio over the last couple of years. That has not been a Sergio that we have known. Yeah. We have no idea what he got into, what has happened, but we know it's an incredibly sad situation, and we lost a very good lady, a very, 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 very good lady in this whole thing. So that's, I guess, good news that they found him, but terrible news that the whole situation's even taking place.
Yeah, and we'll continue to see how everything unfolds. But like you said, just an overall super sad situation. I was teammates with Sergio as a rookie, so met his mom when he first came in, and then was teammates with him again here. And like you said, last couple of years, there's been some things very different with him. So we'll see how that all.
Yeah, and you never want to, like, this is terrible, but like something happened at some point through his journey. He was working for Google at one point. I mean, he was like, went to Miami. I think he got his business degree.
His MBA.
Yeah, he got his MBA, was working at Google, and then he was like traveling and like kept in touch a little bit. And then over the last couple, like something, we have no idea. Very sad. Happy to hear he's in custody though, and so sorry that his mother obviously got murdered, and they're saying it was him. So, I mean, sad, sad, sad scene. But we shall keep an eye on it all. Anyways, hour 2 will be on the other side of this break. We got AJ Hawk joining us. We got JJ Watt joining us. We got Danny Stutzman joining us in the third hour. He's an absolute dog, that guy.
Yeah. Weapon.
Whenever we saw him play, we thought to ourselves, that's a guy.
For sure.
Stocked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big son of a
Tall,
bitch.
too, like 6'4", 6'5".
He looks like a D-end flying around a middle linebacker. Assume he's going to play on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays in America, London, Germany, Mexico, and Canada in the NFL. But for now, he's on the Oklahoma team that's undefeated and ranked number 4 in the General's top 5. Good for them. We'll be back on the other side of this 3-minute break. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Goodbye. Obviously, this is a conversation starter for everybody when they're talking about the dynasty, and there's still Raiders fans that are pissed off about this. Here's the game plan. Go out there in the middle of a snowstorm and make a kick that you're not supposed to make at all from 45 yards.
This is the Patriots season on the line.
Do you remember this moment right here in your head? Were you scared to death? Were you fucking pumped?
I would say I was probably more scared to death as I'm watching the Tuck Rule review and realizing, holy shit, we get the ball back. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's coming all down to you, man. This will be a 45-yard attempt.
That's Vinatieri's luck from this distance of late.
Once I got out on the field, I really had three thoughts. First and foremost, try to attack the ball, but stay light on your feet. Just like anybody, you're running on ice. If your cleats don't stick, you're falling on the ground, and then the ball's going to end up hitting your center right in the back of the head. I wasn't thinking about missing 4 of the last 5, if that's truly what was going on. For me, it was all about, hey, these guys aren't going to be able to get a good rush, get it straight and get it above the line of scrimmage. And thank goodness, as it left and I saw that they didn't block it, then it was all about, I don't know if it's going to have enough distance in this snow, let's hope for the best. And I really didn't know until the referees at the back of the end zone raised their hands. I couldn't really see it. Couldn't tell if it was good or not.
Hell yeah, because it's a snow globe. What a kick. What a moment. Obviously, that would go on to launch a dynasty that the NFL will never see again or before. What a kick. What a moment. Here's an overtime. You got to make another one.
Substantially easier kick. Not just because of the distance, but we called a timeout. We cleaned a bunch of ground. This is the one time that a coach actually icing me probably benefited us, right? Because it gave my offensive lineman with the big size 16 cleats to get out there and move a little bit more ground. And, not to say a game winner's ever easy, but this one compared to the one quarter before that was substantially different.
So you're coming out here sighing a little bit of relief. Oh, thank God. I can see the ground. I'm not going to fall.
Right.
We've already done this.
Exactly.
This is no problem.
Tied.
And then you murder that ball dead center. And then obviously in the Super Bowl, you have like a 49-yarder that you hit at the top of the upright. Couldn't have been a better ball, I don't think. You hit it cleaner. You have something inside of you, okay, that not a lot of people have. And Joe Burrow seemingly is a guy that has it. What is that?
I would love to tell you that I was born with, or I developed the ability to, be a clutch under pressure. I do think that there's certain people that are born with the want or the ability to say, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Mariano Rivera. These guys and ladies are the type of people that go, I want the game coming down to me. I want to be the reason, LeBron, I want to be the reason why we win or lose. I was kind of that same person, playing soccer as center midfield, and in baseball, I either wanted to pitch or catch. I'd leave it there. I know what you're thinking. Knock it off. I know you. Anyway, but I always wanted to, be in the middle of the game and be the reason why. So once I get to football, obviously 59 minutes of the game.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go. This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Trenches Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Football! It's always happening, isn't it? So we got to talk about it all the time, and we're lucky to do so. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this fine afternoon on the Eastern Standard Time Zone, late morning on the Pacific Time Zone, and then whatever it is overseas. I hope you're having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
The Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. 9-year NFL vet, host of the Man to Man podcast and Everything DB yesterday, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler.
12-year
NFL vet, Super Bowl champion player coach, the host of In the Trenches, which will come in the third hour after our conversation with Danny Stutzman, linebacker for Oklahoma Sooners. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. Community. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what we're always trying to build, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
You're trying to be a positive contributor to your community at all times.
At all times.
Amen. Is that why you're wearing that particular hoodie there?
Just trying to stress community these days.
What the hell happened to your nose?
Well, little sparring.
Can we zoom in on that thing?
Sparring.
It's his left nostril.
Oh, wow.
Left, the other one.
Your
Boom.
left one.
Zoom in very close.
Sparring gone wrong.
Oh, no.
Little slip. little grays, little slip, little grays.
What the other guy look like? Nothing. You
Nothing.
didn't get your hands on anybody.
Wait, Glazer knocked you out?
Jay Glazer knocked
Wasn't him.
AQ Shipley out, grazed his face, did his thing. Happy to see you're still alive. With how small you are, you're going to get your block knocked off.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to know that.
It was just a graze.
He's always watching.
That's right.
He's always watching.
That's right.
Graze your face and graze you into the hell.
What's that, Darius?
I just saw Glazer on one of those TVs back there.
He's on Fox?
He's on Good Morning Football this morning.
Jay Glazer was on Good Morning Football?
Yeah, crushing it.
Hell yeah, I didn't know he was making appearances on stuff. We need Jay Glazer back on this particular.
Yeah, we do. Big time.
He's always electrifying. He was in a fight club with AQ Shipley, and obviously AQ was told not to do anything physical anymore after he had a spinal contusion. And they said, hey, you do anything more physical, you end up paralyzed, which is why I've held over his head since that day. Hey, don't try me. I'll put your ass in a wheelchair.
Exactly.
Now he's rolling with professional fighters and Jay Glazer on a regular basis and getting punched right in the face. This is on you when you end up paralyzed.
Listen, I just
don't know
need
if
to
your
let
wife
you
is
know.
saying this to you or your family saying this to you, but as a member of your community, okay, I'll tell you, when you're paralyzed, we're all going to laugh in your face.
Yep.
We see you get a little more jacked over there, and I
No,
come
we
here.
will. This is on him.
I will.
He's not going to get. Come on.
Thanks,
bro.
D.
You never
Thanks,
know.
D. I appreciate it.
AQ Shipley.
Oh, yeah, doctors are dumb. I know we had yesterday Pfizer thing,
I love
but a
doctors.
doctor literally looked at him and said, hey, don't do this anymore. You're going to end up not being able to walk for your kids. He's like, where's the fight club? Oh, in a rich guy's basement? Let me go down
I'm there.
Sounds
It's unbelievable.
I can't wait
I'm
to
there.
puncture your tires.
Well, I just need to make sure when I come
Believe
here, when
whatever
you guys
doc-
try and wrestle me up a little bit, let you guys know I still got it.
Well, we appreciate that. You do still got it. You're in a different weight class now, though. I'm in heavyweight. You are down there in the welterweight with where you have gone to. But you look fantastic. Happy you didn't get knocked out.
Thanks.
And please watch yourself. Seriously.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a man who his knees are a little stiff.
Yeah.
But anytime we see him, you forget. Absolute monster.
Oh, yeah.
Jocked.
All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, although on this particular show, he's just a toxic stooge. He's one of the greatest athletes to ever exist. College football national champion, Super Bowl champion, current president of Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing well. I thought AQ's not allowed to spar. I thought it was strictly he hits the bag and he hits the mitts. What are we doing?
Bingo. You and I are the only ones that are in his community of friends that are telling the truth. He was told by a doctor, don't do anything. And now I saw a video. He's like, well, this video, they're trying to take me down. He's up against a wall, and they got like 4 dudes, like a train. It's like a train coming through.
Oh,
One guy
you don't
comes
say.
in, tries to take him down. Whenever he's done, all right, he walks off. AQ still staring, beat
That's
up.
right, still
Another
standing.
guy comes in, tries to take him down. Then a 300-pounder comes over, and AQ's just sitting there taking it. Boom, who's next? Boom, who's next? Boom, who's next? By the 4th guy, though, guess what this little skinny weeble wobble had? Boom, up, down, on his back. Was scared he's never going to get up. Nobody's telling him this. They're all like happy for him. He's chasing his dreams. You're going to put yourself in real jeopardy. Do you ever think about this, pal?
No, never, not once.
You should.
Damn
You got a
right.
family.
Careful.
You got kids.
If you ain't living
You tell
life
your-
on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
Tell him, D-Butt.
That was a good one. We should put that up on a marquee.
Yeah, where'd you hear that?
If you're not living life on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
Yeah.
Like that.
Wow.
Good.
Half over, half back.
Yeah.
So you're only taking
You
up half.
paralyze yourself, it's going to be a lot tougher to live on the edge.
Yeah, taking up a lot more space.
No, they have wheel locks.
Speaking of doctors, yesterday's conversation with Aaron Rodgers certainly garnered some headlines.
Really?
A lot of people wanted to talk about a lot of the things. He complimented Jordan Love, obviously.
Yeah,
He talked about the Packers. He talked about Hackett getting revenge on Sean Payton, how happy he was for that. He set up a debate.
Yeah.
Set up a debate. But what nobody's talking about is no F-bombs.
No
None.
F-bombs.
Right?
None.
That's progress.
That's right.
I don't think anybody has mentioned that, and I think that's rude, AJ, because if you remember the Wall Street Journal, the only thing they wrote about was all the F-bombs, F-bombs, F-bombs. Aaron didn't say one F-bomb last night or yesterday on this show, and it was not discussed at all. Other than that, AJ, how do you think yesterday's conversation went with the obvious ripple effects afterwards?
I think it went as well as Aaron would have liked it to go. I think he sets up things for the future that he possibly would entertain him, I guess, and try to instruct people on whatever his beliefs are. But yeah, I mean, Aaron likes to give his opinion. Obviously, he feels comfortable on here. So I like that. I appreciate that he feels comfortable.
Just so everybody knows, we understand how dumb it all is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, my name was mentioned alongside Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Tony Fauci.
That's right.
Numerous times.
Yeah.
In a lot of different, like high, classy, hoit-toit, newspaper, magazine, blog things. I don't think this is a real world that we're living in, but I'm sure happy that Aaron Rodgers came in saying, I got an idea. I propose a vaccine debate in 2023. This stopped for a couple years, but then when he already had teams already made. And now people are trying to get this into a 6-man. I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that are trying to make this a 6-man. Well, I mean, Dr. Joe Rogan, obviously, everybody's saying he needs to get involved. And on the other side, what did Aaron call them? Pharmacrats, I believe is what he called them.
Yes,
you can find any other farmer. There's a lot of them. That wanted to sign up. I seen them all in my mentions. Everybody was willing to step in because they all knew a lot of things. And virologists, I believe, are involved in the whole thing. What a wild Tuesday. It felt like we're back in 2020 again.
It did.
It felt like we're right back in the middle of it.
Also, Rand Paul shot his hand up, say, hey, I'd love to get in on this. Okay, don't leave me out of this. I want in as well. So, oh, yeah.
This thing's going to end up being a 5-on-5. One of those Russian mixed martial arts where they're running at each other doing the whole thing. And, our name's going to be associated to that. So I would like to let the world know, we're not the right place for that.
No. AJ was trending after it.
AJ Hawkwood?
Yeah. A lot of people were just saying, like, who is this shovel-looking human being who just sits here?
Uatu?
Yeah, Uatu the Watcher.
Uatu the Watcher. One of the greatest descriptors I have ever heard of AJ. But our reactions, whenever Aaron's doing his thing, my first reaction is to naturally just laugh because I think it's hilarious that I am currently talking to a human who is very okay if this was to come, to fruition, this debate, that'd be a massive
That's what he wants.
He would be very, not a joke. Like, obviously making it in a joking fashion, but also, if we want to do this, let's do it. And I am the douchebag too, in a tank top, just being like, what is this world? So we appreciate Aaron for coming on and certainly enlightening us about everything, because it's not also what he says, it's the reaction where I learn a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are not happy with what he was saying yesterday. Now, on the flip side, boy, there's people saying Aaron needs to run for president.
Yeah, champion.
I don't know if people know that. Now, I don't know how we would feel in that particular case. Not a politics and sports show. And at the end of that, it will be Aaron Rodgers and Travis Kelce, Oklahoma drill. Just because if we're going to do football, we got to do football.
That's right.
And I can't wait to hear how Travis Kelce responds to this.
I was going to say, has anyone reached out to Travis? Because I'm guessing debating this is not on his highest list of priorities.
The amount of times that Travis Kelce has had to say, like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Aaron called you Mr. Pfizer. Okay, and Travis like, Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. If you don't remember, he did not get, famously, did not get vaxxed, got COVID. I think the president even called him out. Like, the whole world
SNL
pretty much attacked. They said that he's going to kill everybody. So now that you're on there, see how you're a natural, and then you add in some other stuff.
Yeah.
And then what's going on. Yeah, you're kind of in a whirlwind right now. And Travis goes, I'm just going to laugh it off. I'll address it one time, and then we'll move on. And Aaron was like, vaccine war. Oh.
Slow down, homie.
Oh, okay. You want to have a war? Oh. He doesn't know that Aaron has actually been in this war for a few years.
5-star general.
Yeah, he has earned it.
Decorated.
Travis just got dropped into it. I was asked if I wanted to do a commercial.
Yeah.
I was told it was good.
Said sure.
That was a good thing. Let's pivot away from Mr. Pfizer in a future debate with Anthony Fauci, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Aaron Rodgers, and Travis Kelce. Let's talk to a man who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, already in the Ring of Honor for the Houston Texans, a man who was on CBS's pregame show this past weekend, and I believe this weekend coming up, and he swore on our program last year.
Yes, that's right.
Last week. Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Wyatt.
No more swearing. No more swearing. I would like a front seat and some popcorn to that debate. That'd be great.
Dude, there's talking about me potentially. I am not the right person to be in there, but I would like to be in the room where it happens. Yeah. You know, I would like to see the interactions. If they cut to a commercial break, who's mad at who? You son of a. That whole thing. I want to see it all. What a moment that would be. Let's start diving in. What's the shirt today? Every day you come on here, you have an incredible shirt. What's the Wonka bar? JJ?
Nice.
Oh, come on. A little Willy Wonka. Chocolate Factory, Oompa Loompas, the whole deal. You come on.
All right, Wonka, how much for a golden goose?
Yeah, I know, the lazy-ass grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa Joe.
No work ethic having son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Who's just profiting off his
Popped
grandkid.
up out of bed. popped up. Here we go.
I gotta go.
I could have made it work this entire time and got us some real food, but instead we're doing this. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't know that was just for that. Is that a medium right there, pal? That you got that as a kid?
Yeah. So I got a bunch of these shirts. So I was like, I'm gonna start wearing them, and they are far too small. Far too small.
Hold on, though. Let's see. I think you probably look good. Let's go. You look really jocked whenever you stood up. Oh! Jeez. Still got it. Still preparing for a comeback, maybe. Let's talk about the Watts that are in the NFL. Your brother TJ Your brother TJ is on track for like 27 and a half sacks or something like that. Already at 8, had 2 this past weekend, one of them being a game winner. We have the film, we have the plays that you can kind of talk over. But when you're watching your brother right now, what is the sense of pride that you have knowing that he's seemingly unstoppable on a football field right now?
It's pretty incredible, man. It's so much fun to watch, and just knowing how hard he works, knowing how hard it is to play at this level. This one right here was the best because to end the game on 4th and 7 against your division rival with a sack through a double team. Go ahead, bring the chipper, have the tackle, no problem, finish it. And then why not just go ahead and just rip your helmet off, scream to the crowd, have the entire city of Pittsburgh in your hand. I mean, what a moment.
He's really doing it. He's going to break the record, huh? This is it. He's going to go get it.
All he needed was a little incentive from you, I guess. I mean, apparently that's just the thing he needed, just a little Pat McAfee motivation.
I don't know if it's us or the $500,000 not going to your charity, but definitely going to the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital if he breaks this sack record, or if it's his tag team partner on the other side. Highsmith, also phenomenal. These two dudes are wrecking games out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I think you have to give a ton of credit to Alex Highsmith on the other side. I mean, he just got paid this offseason. TJ gets paid a couple years ago. Here's Alex right around the edge, strip sack. TJ picks it up. I feel like we have this clip every single week. Like I come and I'm talking to Connor and like, wow, what kind of clips do you want? I'm like, well, let's do that Highsmith fumble. TJ picks it up like every single week. I mean, think about this team and the Steelers and where they are right now. Obviously, we all know the offensive struggles. Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt, if they don't have those two, what does that record look like this year? Like, it is a completely different team, and these two are at the forefront of it. It is a lot of fun to watch as an edge rusher myself and an older brother.
Yeah, I would assume it's a great time watching the success that they're having against every single offensive line, every scheme. They're coming to chip him. He splits it. He wins the game. Take the helmet off, 15-yard penalty. Who cares? You know what I mean? You absolutely did it. But on the offensive side, they have some real issues over there in Pittsburgh, and I know you're following this closely. Normally, here we go, Steelers, here we go. Here we go, Steelers, here we go. That's a chant everywhere. PNC Park, when the Pirates are playing, that's going to get chanted. Yeah. Whenever you're at PPG Paints Arena and you're taking a piss in the bathroom watching the Pittsburgh Penguins, that's going to get chanted. You go down to Kennywood, you're at the potato patch, you're doing your entire thing, that's going to get chanted. It is no longer that chant, though. Yep. It is a completely different chant, JJ. Last night at the Pittsburgh Penguins opener against the Chicago Blackhawks, instead of the Here We Go Steelers chant, this is now the chant that is being rang around Pittsburgh. How does TJ, Highsmith, and the boys on the defense keep that all out while the entire city of Pittsburgh is calling for the offense to look vastly different? If you were in that situation, how would you handle that whole thing, JJ?
Well, first, I wasn't going to bring up the Pens game. I know you're a Pens fan, so I didn't want to bring up the game last night. I was tuned into it. Second, I'd love to look into the mindset of the guys on the ice, hearing somebody chant "Fire Canada" when they have no idea what that is.
I'm from Canada.
So they were like,
hey, yeah, we had fires up there. Yeah. Oh, hey. Oh. Somebody had to tell a couple of the Russians.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Are they talking about where Bedard from Canada? No. Offense coordinator, Steelers. Oh, that guy's hated. Everybody couldn't imagine the surprise.
I mean, it's just gotten to a point up there where it's pretty wild. And it's crazy that obviously even after a win against your division rival, going into a bye week, top of the division, you still have that going on in this city. And I think that just speaks to the frustration of everybody there with the offense. So you ask, what would I do in that locker room? I mean, as a defensive player, you do what you can to go out there and win games. And that's truthfully what they've done. Highsmith has a pick 6. TJ has a touchdown. You go get strip sacks. You go do anything humanly possible. You have Joey Porter Jr. get an interception in the end zone. anything you can possibly do to go out there and win that game. And then you just hope they find their rhythm at some point. But, I mean, the plate of Pickens was awesome. I mean, that's obviously what you're looking for. You're hoping for more of that, and you're hoping for some of those big plays to hit. But right now, all you can do is just go out there and play damn good defense.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, if you're on a team, say, where your defense is outperforming the offense, and you look around the league, it's happening at certain places. I know Jai Alexander was not throwing any shade at his offense, but just saying defensively, it's our job to score points and to stop them. Obviously, we have a young offense trying to get in the groove. How do you find a way, I guess, if you're a defense as a whole, to not resent an offense like that? If it's week after week and you feel like they're not consistently scoring, how do you kind of keep the team together?
Yeah, I was kind of having this conversation last week because after the Houston game, the Steelers obviously were having – but they both sides of the ball were not good. So that's almost better because then neither side can be resentful of the other. It's kind of, hey, we all got to figure it out. When it's very clearly one side week after week after week, it does get difficult. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing you can do. It's you're a professional. You go out there, you do your
some
job.
teams have
Honestly,
quit. JJ, we've seen it before where some defenses have, quit. I think the Chicago Bears a couple years back. It was like week 11, week 12. You just saw, an absolute, fed up. There's, nothing we do matters almost, That's almost human nature.
Yeah.
You just got to not do that.
But honestly, one of the things you can do, they're on their bye week this week. It is the perfect time for self-scout. You have your defensive guys, you have your defensive coaches watch that offensive film, and you say, hey, what are our weaknesses? Where can we get better? Are we tipping plays? Are there plays that we're leaving on the table? What gaps are weak that we should be attacking? This is that time during this week that those defensive coaches have a chance to actually go and watch that offensive tape and give some of that feedback to the offensive guys, whereas the rest of the year, you don't have time to do that. So if there's big things that are going to happen, if there's scheme changes, whatever it may be, this is the week to do it with the bye week.
7-2 after the bye last year. Yeah. And went on, obviously, a magical run. They're assuming they're going to be able to do the same thing. I don't know if Pittsburgh believes that, especially as they continue to chant to fire the offensive coordinator in every venue in Pittsburgh. Yeah. They told me down there at the Dueling Piano Bar on the South Side that they actually sang fire, and then the crowd, 2 hours straight. Didn't play any other song.
We're doing it on church on Saturdays, too, on Sunday mornings before the game. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Fire.
We lift our hearts up to the Pittsburgh offense.
Fire, Canada. That's Pittsburgh, though. It is. That could be touching. Oh, man, a priest walking out. Everybody bow their heads. Today, we pray to our Lord and Savior to do one thing and one thing alone. Fire, Canada. And then they start boozing on the wine.
What?
And then they wake up the next day and realize Tomlin's the coach. And Tomlin's never going to do that in the middle of the season. But bye week, maybe they'll get better. Connor has a question for you.
I'm interested. I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm actually interested in your guys' thoughts on this because this is something that I've
Hey, ask
about
Diggs
a lot.
for his
Obviously.
real thoughts, though. Diggs is going to do little fake thoughts here if you ask a real question. Just want to let you know that.
All right, Diggs, real thoughts, please. I mean, don't give me any of the bullshit. When a situation like this happens, you see an entire stadium, not even in the same sport, chanting about this guy wanting him fired. Is that something where it's like, hey, makes a lot of money, he's the coach of a team, you know what comes along with it, whether it's a player or a coach, is that like, hey, you just got to live with it and deal with it? Or does it get to the point where you're like, oh, man, this like...
Starting to feel bad for Canada? Or you think anybody's starting to feel bad for Canada at this point? That's an interesting question.
No, absolutely not. I mean, this is what the NFL is. Like, you get paid, he gets paid to be good at his job. He's never once been good at... Not once. No, not one time, okay? There hasn't been one game where...
Preseason, right?
Yeah, he was so good.
Preseason, they're unbelievable. We watched it. We seen it. You've seen it.
I did see it. Yeah, they were playing the most base coverages you could ever imagine playing, and yeah, his high school offense is really good against just base cover 3, maybe some mix in some cover 2 there.
Zoe, the answer is no, JJ. Nobody cares, and they're going to start chanting that louder, especially after a bye week. If the same thing happens 2 weeks from now, boy, it's going to get even louder.
Guess what? You're down at the steel mills, and you're just throwing hot molten steel all over everybody and killing people and stuff like that. You're going to get fired. Okay. Can't just not be. You can't show up to your job every day and be bad and keep it. Okay?
Yeah, that ain't how it goes.
Not how the world works.
Not everyone knows that.
Well, there's a lot of situations that we've certainly seen. People bad at their jobs just assume they're going to keep their jobs for the rest of their life because they had a job.
Makes sense.
Very good. Hey, congrats to them having that mindset.
True.
No fear at all.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet.
No fear at all that they're going to lose a job. That must be so sweet. Just
No
go to
worries.
bed. Who cares? What you do today? Nothing. Wake up. What are you going to do? Nothing.
That's
Oh.
Matt Canada. And then he shows up wearing his stupid hat again. And he's like, oh, here we go.
All right, let's move on from Canada. And thank you for adding fuel to the Canada fire that has already started. Connor has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, team that's actually close to the country, Canada, the Detroit Lions, they do not have a problem on offense, and they definitely don't have a problem on defense. What are you seeing out of Hutch in that D-line and, that team as a whole, just because, we all expected the Lions to be good, but now that we're 5 weeks into it and they really are one of the best teams in the NFL, how are you feeling about them right now?
Yeah, they have a very, very strong handle on that NFC North right now, and I think Aiden Hutchinson is playing extremely well. He's a playmaker. I mean, has there been a better fit in terms of a draft pick and Aiden Hutchinson going to the Detroit Lions? Obviously, the Jaguars passing on him. But the guy can make plays. Not only can he make sacks on the edge, but I feel like he has 4 or 5 interceptions this year already. Here, just go ahead, snag it with one hand, and watch this. Smoked. Absolutely smoked in the thigh. I mean, that is a Charlie horse of epic proportions. And then I'm watching the replay, and I see this still shot. I mean, geez, dude, look at the way.
Hold on, we have a still shot, though. We do have a still shot. Look at that thing.
Look at this. He's fine, and he's perfectly fine.
He got up and jogged, felt it a little bit, but he's like, I just got a sweet pick, though. Let's not ruin this moment. I'm going to dance. And then he ended up playing. It's great recovery. We've seen his off days. We've done a day with him. He does a lot of prehab, rehab, takes care of his body. He's exploded on the scene. But to your point, everybody talks about his work ethic and his engine and his battery and how he's always going. He has some, real sneaky picks. Last year, I think his first one, he was dropping into coverage. It was a screen that he picked off, and then he took it to the house. That one-handed snag, reading the tackle, setting him up, and doing it. The guy's a playmaker all over the place. What a match for them in Detroit, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love watching him play because he does all sorts of things. A sack later in the game, he had a spin move, a nice spin. He can do everything, and he can move. I can't get that picture out of my head of his leg looking like that. Any people don't understand in the NFL you are waking up the next day and trying to get ready for another game this week. You do that to somebody on the sidewalk, they're down for months. Look at that thing.
Yeah, and also you wake up the next day, you have a little pain, and you go, what was that from? And then you see the film, and it was like, oh, there it is. My knee is sideways. Okay. I was feeling a little, I was a little stretched. Yeah. Even because your quad probably, I'm feeling a little strain in here. I don't know what was it. You cut
Did you ever have one, Pat? Did you ever take a crazy hit?
So a guy hit me in my one leg. It was against Oakland. It was a 100%er. We were supposed to score a touchdown. We were supposed to run it within the 5-yard line, and it would be we ran it at the 35. So needed some points. It was on Christmas Eve. I was supposed to do it. Had a magic trick in my hand warmer for when I scored a touchdown with this one. I was, you know what I mean? This one was wide. This one was wide open. Snap to the holder. Holder gets up, runs, does his thing. Vinatieri was supposed to distract Cuz to go right. It was supposed to be done inside the 5. We were way too far back to do it. As it was getting cold out there, I thought Chuck was sending me on a suicide mission, to be completely honest. Nobody really knew. We were supposed to be on the other hash, too, because the guard that would have had to pull was a defensive guy. Shout out Zach Kerr. Whenever I call the play in there, Zach Kerr goes, we're on the wrong side. I'm supposed to... And I go, yeah, that's what we're doing here, Zach. He goes, good luck, basically, is what Zach Kerr tells me. Still in the NFL. And I get up, and I start running, and Darren Bates is the linebacker, and he did not bite at all on Vinatieri. He met me at that hole. Ooh. So I gave him a
little stick.
Yeah, what was your strategy?
I should have jumped over him. I did a spin move instead, and he hit my one leg into my other leg so hard, I end up at the bottom of a pile. My arm hits the ground, ball comes out. Now there's a scrum on top of me. Ref says, it doesn't matter. It was 4th down. Ref's talking shit to me pretty much. I'm saying my arm was down. I don't want to fumble on my stat sheet. I was down there as I'm getting killed. Next day, I get up. I have a bruise on this leg right here, and I'm like, what the hell happened to my leg? And then I watched replay back. He hit me so hard that my one knee bruised my other leg. So it was at that moment where I was pretty thankful that I don't run the ball ever, and I realized I'm nowhere near tough enough. So yes, it has happened to me. How about you, JJ? Did you wake up the next day after your nose was bleeding and be like, wow, what happened to my face? Did that happen to you?
Yeah, it happened a lot. It happened a whole lot. I got to send a picture to Connor. I got a bruise that was very bad. It was Fred Taylor. I was coming right off the edge, and it was a free shot on the quarterback, except for it was Fred Taylor standing back there. I don't know why I keep saying Fred Taylor. I don't know if it was Fred Taylor. Anyways, the running back was standing there, and I had a decision to make. I could either go and try and bat the ball because I saw him start to throw it, or I could try and run the running back over and get the sack. And I was like, make the sacrifice for the team. Put your hands up in the air. And I mean, when I tell you he hit me in the thigh board as hard as you could hit somebody, folded me in half, straight to the ground, and my entire thigh was black and blue for the next, 2 weeks straight.
Did you feel soft, or what'd you do? Just get tore all, get back out there?
It's one of those things, kind of. I'm sure, like Aiden.
Oh, my God.
Holy hell.
First of all,
there it is.
First of all, I'm going to see your balls here. So happy that's all right there. That is a full.
Tucked them in.
Thank you for doing that. First of all, look at the left quad.
Yeah, what the hell?
Jeez Louise. Good.
Oof, that's bruised.
Hey, you got some good looking
That
legs.
was painful, man. That was painful. It was. Nothing. I didn't know anything about it really. I mean, I obviously knew I took the hit, but I played the rest of the game, and it's kind of one of those things. You keep the adrenaline going, you keep the blood flowing, it's fine. And then you wake up the next morning and you go to take a step out of bed, and you're like, "Did I stand on a train track? What the hell?" It was brutal too.
You shave your legs?
No, I'm blonde.
Can you put that back up? It looks like you shave your legs. You shave those quads?
Yeah, you definitely shave the left
You
leg.
don't shave that quad?
Yeah.
I didn't shave it.
Just
This
Listen, if you
is
shave
the
your legs,
second
it's
time
okay,
my
bro.
legs have been live.
Yeah, a lot of legs and.
I don't shave my legs.
Hey, it's okay if you do. Hey, listen.
That's cool.
Sorry if you do, because it makes your legs look bigger and stronger and faster like that. We also pulled up my play where I got tackled.
If it does, I will.
Yeah, shave the arms too. People shave the arms as well. But we got a chance to pull up the play. I thought I was out there. You saw it.
That's a good spin move.
I literally I set him up, AJ. Wait till you. I mean, it's loading right now in the back. Obviously, our internet is fantastic. But I thought I had this guy. I didn't have a bruise that you
I
just had.
can't wait for this.
JJ. I mean, this was Christmas Eve, pal. This was the night will be remembered for.
What was the magic trick? What were you going to do?
I was going to make so what we saw Lou Holtz do, what we saw Lou Holtz do with actual Lou Holtz, I mean, that is what it was going to be. I was going to pull a handkerchief out, and I was going to go right to the camera, and I was going to make it disappear. And then the ref was going to throw a flag, and I was going to grab that, and I was going to start putting it in. Anyways, here is the play that was supposed to be a touchdown. Look at that.
Oh, you had it.
Oh, my ball was my arm was down, though.
It was.
When the ball came out.
Dead?
Yeah, I mean.
That's a good spin, though, honestly.
Thank you. I mean, it's just natural reaction. Who knows if I actually practice running the ball, what I'm going to come up with. But right there, I should have jumped over top from right there.
Oh, I don't know. You might have had the gap to the left.
Well, that's Zach Curry actually blocking incredibly well. The guy that was very much worried, he's all the way up there. There's a couple guys on the ground there. Yeah, I mean, Darren Bates is cutting off the gap to the left, Darius.
I don't know.
Oh, it's so easy with air conditioning and clickers. Just make it
Everybody's got the answers.
Oh, yeah.
Blame it on the baseball field, Pat. Just blame it on the fact that you're playing on a baseball field.
Hey.
Oh, now right here, this hurts right here when it comes to ball. Your left arm.
Yeah, I mean, I was down, though. You know, he hit me.
No fumble.
No
fumble.
Absolute crop that they even thought.
And you weren't used to taking hits like that. So, for us, you take them every week, so whatever. But, I mean, that's a first-timer there. That had to feel good the next couple of days.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days. Anytime I made a tackle, 4 or 5 days. Literally, the whole this area right here.
Really?
I don't know how you guys dealt with it. Yeah, it just felt like something shot right down my spinal cord every single time. And you guys thank you guys for your service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And me too. What's that?
Jalen Hurts had one last week. Was it against the Rams? We had
that was a hyper against. It was more similar to the Hutch play.
That was crazy.
He got hit low.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now that we're talking about bodies and everything, the NFL is going to go to 18 games, we assume, at some point, because they're going to see the amount of money that another week of games will bring. But if they add another bye week, that's another 2 weeks of games that they can sell with more prime time. We assume that's where we're headed. Roger Goodell this past weekend was in London talking to a man named Neil Reynolds. This is what he said about the London and England experiment and what it could look like in the future with the NFL.
The Jaguars are playing consecutive games over here and staying over here. And part of that is just to see how would teams react to that. How would is it a competitive disadvantage or advantage one way or the other? We'll learn something from that will help us determine, can we play more games? Could a team actually play over here? So if somebody came over here to play against a London franchise, and let's say there was more than one team over here, they would probably stay for a few weeks. So this will help us understand.
All right, my ears just pricked up.
Did you say free teams?
Just said more than one team.
Trey.
More than one London team.
Trey.
You did. All right, I'm just checking. All right. MJD, do you think that if, yeah, true, yeah, you should always put that if in.
Okay, so JJ, obviously a lot has been made of these England games because they've been a smashing success. Now the Toy Story games are happening. The 9:30 a.m. games are happening. There's another game over there. Jacksonville's played the most games over there because they assumed at some point Jacksonville would make home over there, especially with the Khan family connection to Premier Soccer and everything like that. What are your thoughts on the NFL in England and potentially having its own division over there, JJ?
I mean, I think it's fascinating just purely from a logistical standpoint. I think it's certainly headed that way at some point. I just don't know how they're possibly going to make it work logistically. But I do know I have two things to say about that. Because first of all, I'm sitting there and let's say you're the Bills. You're like, don't experiment against me, man. Like, don't like give the other team the advantage against our team. Like, yes, I understand you have to like try it, but maybe not against us. We're trying to have a great year. Or like obviously for the Jags, like, yeah, let's do it. We'll get the advantage. But now on the flip side, in the Bills' defense, having been a part of international games, having had these conversations on how do you do it best, when do you leave, when do you do all these things, at least last year when I was in the league and having these conversations, the statistics and the data showed that the team that left the latest won the game the majority of the time. So people were upset about them leaving on Friday to play on Sunday. But at least when I was there, the reality of the situation was that the team that left the latest won. So, I mean, didn't work out for them, clearly. And I know they don't want to use it as an excuse, but it also probably doesn't feel too good to be sitting there hearing like, yeah, we're going to just have some fun and experiment with some things.
Yeah, we're trying to see how big of an advantage it is for guys to be acclimated to the time, because 9:30 a.m., that's early, bro. That is an early time, especially for the Buffalo Bills. You only have 36 hours to get acclimated to the new time zone to play at 9:30 a.m. So you're going to start slow. You would assume most teams that get over there and don't get fully transitioned into their time frame. But yeah, you're right. Buffalo Bills are like, we experiment against like, I don't know, some trash ass team.
Patriots.
Like, if you're trying to think about this logistically, this is a fascinating conversation. How would you make it work? Are you going to put a whole division over there, or are you going to put one or two teams and then the team's going to play 2 weeks back to back? If you play on the London team, do you have to have a house in London and a house in America? Like now your family, like your kids going to school, like there's a million questions that are just fascinating.
Well, here's another one. Taxes. Am I getting taxed? Because if they have a home base in America, and also so I'm getting taxed by London because I'm working over there. Right. England, probably something else. And then also the home base, wherever the home team is. There's like all those little things to be decided. But I think we all know that the inevitability of this all is that there's going to be a few teams over there as soon as technology makes it possible to fly over there quicker. I'm excited for them to figure it out, though, because I think Europe getting involved in football is good. Because if we get that hooligans, vibe in a football game on a regular...
We got it, man. We got it. Haven't you just turn on Twitter any Sunday? There's fans just throwing haymakers every week.
Oh, you're right. We're talking about like singing songs, getting after it, like the Burnley fans, the Burnley fans, for instance. How are we? Do we stink? Are we good?
We can move on to the next topic.
Chelsea boys.
We started out 1-0. We went up 1-0, and it was incredible and awesome. We were playing good, and then Raheem Sterling just had a phenomenal game on the left wing.
That'll happen.
Put it to us. So we lost 4-1. We're in the international break now, but we have a big game against Brentford coming up next week, Saturday. So, yeah.
Any of your guys play international? Yeah.
Yeah. We got guys all over the place. We got a guy in Norway. We got a Moroccan. We got a bunch of good guys.
When are we going to win again? We winning again soon? Like whenever we get back, we think we got a good chance to get the ball.
That's what next week Saturday is what we're looking at, man. I'm considering flying over just for the game and flying back. I have an itch. I got an itch to get out there, man. I want to get to it.
Yeah, they need you too. Why don't you bust your nose over there?
Yeah.
Why don't you get a little blood? Why don't you show them that thigh?
Yeah.
Why don't you lift your pants up? Why don't you bruise yourself? We go over there and let them know what it could be like. So we lose to Chelsea, obviously. We're down there ranked. Oh no, bottom 3 is where we need not be, right?
Correct. We need to get out of there.
Shit. Oh, no. Come on, Burnley. We need to start climbing the
It's a
ladder.
long season, boys.
You
It's a
guys
long
should get
season.
messy.
Everybody
Get messy.
settle down.
Talk to Ryan Reynolds. He knows how to do it.
Yeah. Wrexham. See, I don't think Wrexham's at this level. I don't think. I think they're still.
Yeah, they're below.
I believe.
Way below.
They're a couple below.
Why don't you
Okay.
get messy? Get messy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I put in a call. Still waiting to hear back. Still waiting to hear back.
Go ahead, AJ.
JJ, say you're still playing, you're a free agent, and there was, say, a division in London. How seriously would you look at that team to go sign with them and go play over there?
I mean, the logistics of it are fascinating. I don't know how that would all work, but I do think that the expansion of it, I do think that the fan base is over there. I think it's really exciting. I think it's a great time. I mean, I obviously invested in an English football club. I love it over there. I love London. I love all of it. So I really do think it would be fun. I think it would be great. I just talk about your body recovering and figuring out how to make all that work. I mean, it would be so damn difficult from that standpoint, but you would also be like kind of a pioneer and on a starting something new over there. And I mean, yeah, could I absolutely see that there's an entire division over there someday? Or I mean, way, way, way down the line, you literally have the American and the European division or something like that. Could be really cool.
I think it could be sweet. It's going to take the right people, though. Like, they're going to have to get star power over there.
Yeah.
And you know how the NHL does the expansion draft? The NHL makes the new teams good immediately because they want fans to kind of hop on board and get there. It's been a while, since the Texans? Is that the last expansion team that the NFL has done, I think?
Yeah, it was. The Texans in 2001, I believe. You know what was fascinating? I was watching that Pens game last night, and it was like 10:30 p.m. and they were going into the third period. Then so they're playing the Blackhawks in Pittsburgh. Today, the Blackhawks are in Boston playing the Bruins. That schedule's wild. That game didn't finish till like 11 o'clock last night. They now have to, as you know, pack up, eat everything, get on a plane, fly, land, drive to a hotel, and now they're already going to be on the ice again here in a couple hours. Like that. That's pretty wild.
Well, and they have a morning skate, too, normally, whenever they get to a place. And then they have their afternoon nap. I guess in the NHL world, from what I understand, this afternoon nap thing, like, we could be mockable, because it's like babies take naps. Like, that is not what adults do. It's like, I guess the NHL afternoon nap is like one of the most vital things in the entire NHL. Guys have like a 2.5 hour slot where it's like, nobody call this particular guy for 2.5 hours. He's a napper for 3 hours. He's a 90-minute napper, so we need to do things like that is how they survive. The NBA as well. The NBA runs on very limited sleep. I have no idea how they figure it out, but these boys are going to play. That's what Rich Paul told us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's more the teams looking out for the players as opposed to the players saying we don't want to play is what Rich told us yesterday.
Yeah.
Happy we played football. I'm happy I played a position and never got hit. On the flip side of that. Speaking of injuries and stuff, Tone Diggs has a question for you, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, guy that you played with, Deshaun Watson, he was cleared by doctors but not cleared by himself. How does that work? And, is there any added motivation when you get paid $230 million guaranteed to play when you're cleared by doctors but not yourself?
Answer the question, JJ.
I don't know the full details of the situation, obviously, but I mean, if that's how it is put, that cleared by doctors and not cleared by yourself, yeah, I mean, that's sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes it's you're cleared by yourself and not by the doctors.
Most times, right? And that, most times, I feel like that's kind of the most the conversation. That's why what's going on in Cleveland is such a big convo, because it's like, if normally the doctor's pretty hesitant too, right, nowadays, because of everything that had happened, I think in the NFL, a little bit more hesitant to clear people now because they don't want to have the narrative of we only care about the teams, to hell with these players. Yeah. So it's like for the team to announce that he's cleared from our doctors and then him saying, I don't feel right. Yeah, it's interesting.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something more going on there where he's just not capable of doing what he needs to do, or he's not, physically, yes, you're not going to hurt yourself more, but maybe you're still not able to do what you want to do. I don't know. But yeah, I think there's probably a lot of times where I should not have been cleared for most likely.
You a practice guy? You a
up.
big practice guy? Every day you're doing practice full speed every rep?
Yeah, that was probably to my detriment. I thought it was extremely important. I wanted to be in full pads and go out there and play. I'm a big believer in you have to play football to be better at football. And yeah, it probably was not the smartest take.
AQ, you agree with JJ? That's what you did as well?
I looked forward later in my career to Wednesdays off and then Thursday, Friday, no pads. But I agree with him. I did need to be out there to see it. If I was in spiders and could kind of get through it mentally, I was okay.
Did you see this offensive lineman flop the other night, JJ? Did you see this thing?
I've seen the reactions from you guys. I hadn't actually seen the
Good
play.
news,
No,
we got it. Here it is, 50s. Here you're looking at. Oh! That's offensive lineman now, JJ.
AQ would never. AQ would never.
They don't make them like they used to.
Hey, let's talk about Max Crosby. We've talked about a couple different pass rushers. He is game wrecker. Supposed to have Chandler Jones on the other side. Obviously, that is not the case this year. But what he's been able to do, I think, is not getting chatted about enough because the Raiders are, 2-3 or whatever?
Yes.
They were staring down being this team that's throwaway. He's unbelievable at what he does.
Yeah, Max is a phenomenal player. And I think that the way that he flies around, the way that he plays the game, how hard he goes, the way he plays the run, I mean, he just terrorizes people in the run and the pass. And like you said, he's kind of doing it, not by himself, but I mean, he is a mass majority of the production of that defense. And like if you're going into a game against the Raiders, you have to stop one guy first. And yet he still goes out there and he plays great football. So big fan of the way he plays the game, big fan of the energy he plays it with. And you can't play with a guy like that and not want to play 100 miles an hour yourself because you're like, look at this guy. He's like, I mean, his nickname is the Condor, I believe, and that's pretty badass nickname.
Yeah, it's a sick nickname, especially in a time where it's tough to find a new nickname that's sick. The Condor is certainly a good one. And if you even think about him, the person, like he's sober, right?
Yeah.
Very publicly sober. He's in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that
Unreal.
is, you think about just the mental discipline that he's had to develop through his life and the state that he's in and the way he's playing football. And you would think that maybe some people would turn soft. He's chirping.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking shit.
Yeah.
He's doing his whole thing. I remember you being mic'd up. You're a big time chirper. I don't think that gets talked about much.
Time to time.
I heard that one said, shouldn't have picked on J.J. Watt. Isn't that what the one mic'd up thing I think
Well,
said?
then there's the Cardinals, or maybe we're just better. Huh?
Yeah, maybe we're just better.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were a big talker whenever that switch would go on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you get that adrenaline flowing. You start to feel pretty good. You get in the zone. And the best one that I had was definitely there was a game against the Saints, and I had a enjoyable day that day, and I was letting them have it a little bit. They had a backup tackle in, and they left him one-on-one. And so I just kept looking at the sidelines after every big play I would make, and I was just like, you guys, give him some help. Like, please. I was sort of begging them, like, please give him some help. Delaney Walker was another guy that I had a bunch of good battles with. He was in Tennessee for a very long time, and he would always be in charge of chipping me on the edges. And so we would just have full-blown conversations at the line of scrimmage. Like, we would line up, and I'd be like, oh, son of a bitch. And he'd be like, yep, I'm right here. And so I'd try and move my alignment outside. I'd try and move my alignment inside, and he would just move wherever I moved, and he was a good chipper. Like, some guys don't chip that well. I mean, that Ravens one, obviously, on TJ kind of whiffed there. Delaney Walker didn't whiff. He gave some serious shots right in the rib cage, and so I respect that. I respect the hell out of him, and he made my job harder for sure.
Delaney Walker, AFC South legend, dude.
Yeah.
He got in a fight with E-Wall, I think, in a couple of our games. Yeah, he's awesome.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Delaney Walker was awesome to watch.
Is he a big boat guy?
Yeah.
Yes. He has a
Big
cigarette
boats.
boat.
Cigarette
Yeah,
boats,
he's got
yeah.
big boats down there. Yeah, living down
He
there.
was on the show talking about it.
I think he's with Bussin' now. I think he's doing some stuff with Bussin'. Great personality. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, JJ, after the Niners thoroughly beat the piss out of the Cowboys on Sunday night, us and kind of everyone else has just crowned them champions pretty much. And obviously everyone's been talking about the offense and Brock Purdy, and rightfully so. They have so many weapons. But on the defensive side, it seems like there's only a handful of guys that kind of get all the chatter, but they are unbelievable on the D-line. Their linebackers are insane. So is their secondary. A, how fun would it be to play on that defense? And B, do you think there's any truth to like, oh, hey, they might be peaking too early and they're going to be in trouble down the road?
They're a damn good football team, man. I don't know about peaking too early. They're just so good, and they seem to have the best chemistry, and they seem to have the guys that kind of understand it and just have fun with it while also just dominating everybody they play. I mean, you talk about guys on that defense. I think it's crazy how many players are in that team, from Trent Williams, George Kittle, Purdy. I mean, all these names, Bosa. And I think people are starting to come around on it, but Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are playing as good as any linebackers in the league. I mean, maybe as good as any middle linebackers since a couple of 49ers guys in Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I mean, there's just something about middle linebacker wearing that 49ers uniform, and these two fit that perfectly. I mean, Fred Warner flies all over the field. He's one of the smartest players in the league. He always knows what's going on, and then he just goes. This play is one of my favorite plays. It's been shown a lot this week. Breaks up the mesh concept, forces the Dak to pull the ball down, and then goes and gets the sack. I mean, the mental aspect of that play and the physical skills and ability to be able to make it all happen is unbelievable.
So he covered two guys there pretty much, right? He covered two guys, disrupted both
and
of those.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Run that play one more time.
It's like,
so
it's incredible. He covers both crossers.
He's covering both those guys right now, pretty much. Yep. Dak's supposed to just drop that off right now to them.
Yep.
And
so
instead,
he covers both of them.
Splits them.
Then he doesn't run at Dak right away. He kind of stays on the line of scrimmage, just kind of like, hang on. Now he puts his hands up, forces him to pull the ball down. And, oh, yeah, I might as well just make the sack. I'm here anyway. Like, what a damn play, man. And he's one of the nicest guys, too. I mean, literally after the game, we'll come up and talk. Like, I have a lot of respect for Fred Warner.
Hey, he does a lot of chirping as well. I got a chance to watch him play. I think he's electrifying both during the play and post-play. The conversation out of that game, though, is that Dak stinks. I think that Niners defense is probably going to make a lot of people stink.
Yeah, I mean, like, you lose one game and it's against a very, very good football team, and all of a sudden, I feel like we have this thing now with former players that are analysts that love to just trash on guys. Like, I don't know if it's clicks or what it is, but, I mean, we're tossing around terms like garbage, like trash, like sucks, and I'm like, you were a player once. Like, like you don't this game is hard. Yes. Like, can guys improve and play better? Yes. But I don't know where we got off now just throwing so much dirt on top of people when we were all in those shoes once. And yeah, you've had a bad game. You want to put up a low light reel of me? You could make me look like the worst player in NFL history. I mean, I've been crack blocked by a receiver and knocked on my ass before. You put that up, yeah, I look like garbage too. Like, I don't know. we can be critical without being just downright like ridiculous.
We'll have that low light reel for JJ next week.
Need that.
Yeah, that's a question for you.
JJ, a guy who's definitely not garbage, Jaylen Carter in Philly. We see what this guy can do on the interior D-line. When you watch him play, like, how do you ever block this guy?
Dude, it's fun to watch him play, man. I mean, he is big, he moves extremely well, and he is strong as an ox. I mean, he throws people out of the way. He understands the position very well. He knows how to play double teams. He knows how to rush the passer. He has good counter moves. To be as big, physical, and strong as he is as a rookie, combined with the knowledge and the technical ability of playing the position he has, man, is it a lot of fun to watch. And it's a position that, people don't love. Like, it's not like people are cracking on the tape and they can't wait to watch D tackle play. Trust me, I know, I've been one. But he makes it fun to watch the position, and he's just throwing giant human beings out of the way. Looks like Philly's got a special one for a long time up there.
Only going to get better too, right? That's like a matter of fact. The more reps you have in the NFL, the better you're going to get, and the stronger he's going to somehow get as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got now the full-time job now. I always tell people that when I got to the NFL, you don't have classes anymore. You have enough money to have the proper nutrition, to buy the proper things to recover, to have the best bed to sleep in. You got all the right things. So now he's only going to get bigger, faster, stronger. And he's going to get comfortable playing against NFL offenses. He's going to learn these cadences and rhythms. He's going to learn little tips and tricks. He's going to get good, man.
They call him the Rhino over there. It makes a lot of sense. Darius has the last question for you here, JJ.
Yeah, I got a question. We talked enough football. Let's go to another great sport. I'm a one-man show in here when it comes to this sport. Everyone else hates it. But heard that you recently became a fan of F1. Hey, relax.
Max Verstappen won again.
Good question, D-Bud. Are you still watching? NASCAR's better. Are you still watching even with Max dominating? And if you get a chance, are you going to that race in Vegas next month?
So it's a great question. Honestly, the domination has made it a little bit less enticing to watch, I have to say. But and then you can also go to the argument, well, Mercedes have been dominating for so many years with Lewis. So I don't disagree with that. But I went to the race in Miami last year. A, it was unbelievably hot, and B, obviously it being a racetrack, there's only so many entrances to get in. You have to walk over the track, and so it was very, very, very crowded and very tough. And then finally, you can't see anything.
Well,
you can stand there and you can be sitting in the stands. It's literally
there's nothing happening.
It's the worst.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds great. Pass,
Yeah. Hey, JJ, we appreciate the hell out of you on this day. Don't be wasting your time with that.
Wow, what a cutoff. They really don't want to be talked about on this.
Hey, it's tough over here, JJ.
Buddy, I mean, there's just so many. IndyCar about 10 times better. NASCAR, let's not even get crazy. There's some go-kart tracks down here that are just much better racing here.
That's pinnacle of motorsport.
Yeah,
the pinnacle.
Yeah, right. All right, let me read what they say on Netflix. Okay, we see the cars just.
I don't want to piss off the people in Indy, so I will say sprint car's great.
No, that's good. Sprint car's good too. Sprint car's good. You know you're racing.
I grew up in Wisconsin. They had the dirt track stuff. I loved it. Slinger Speedway.
All right.
Shout out Slinger Speedway.
Shout out to them and to you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. SportsCenter in 7. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Go.
Hey, we're still live, but I mean, I hit that one right on the screws there. That's the reason why I pivoted away from it. But also, we didn't know F1 talk was coming.
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're having a good Wednesday.
Yeah. What the hell was that?
The
Butler?
NHL had the puck drop, last night.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL's got a lot of stuff happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
They do. We got J.J. Watt on.
You want to see?
I mean, that's baseball.
You want to see ratings drop? Talk NHL and F1.
No, not the
not
watch
NHL.
your mouth.
Not NHL.
Did you like?
No,
disgusted. See what happened?
AJ quit the show because we're talking NHL.
What? Set him out. Way to go, D-Bud.
Hope you're happy, Gary.
Thanks a lot.
And Max Verstappen throttling somebody else.
World champion, 3-time world champ.
You watch the NHL? Who's your team? We saw we've seen your hockey highlights. You got a clap bomb, hey.
Hey, pal.
Hey, pal. You got a clap bomb over there.
I love hockey, man. I love it. I love to get on the ice. I actually just got fitted. TJ's birthday gift to me this year was a full set of hockey gear, skates, everything. He got skates for my son too. It was a pretty badass gift.
Hey, it's TJ's birthday today. What'd you buy him? Same thing?
Oh, I should have mentioned that in the show.
We're still on the show, but you're right. Should have said it on ESPN.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought we're not on the show.
Yeah, come on.
Happy birthday, Trent. So proud of you, buddy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my brother. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Trent.
Happy birthday, Trent.
No, I got him. He's very, TJ's very, he likes very thoughtful, funny, but thoughtful, small little gifts. He hasn't got them yet, so I don't want to say what they are.
Smart.
There's a lot of little things.
Cheap
and sentimental
Give him a
important.
pool guy, please.
Yeah, we need a pool guy, so he's not out there doing that.
Good callback. Good callback.
I worry about
But yeah, the skates thing was really cool. So now I go down. There's a bunch of Arizona Coyotes, a bunch of the guys that play a pickup game, and they invited me out to play a pickup game with them. So
they're still a team.
I hit the. They play it.
Why don't you buy that team?
It's a nice
you bought the
team.
Burnley team. Why don't you buy that team?
Probably costs as much as a
$50K.
hockey.
People tell me stuff like that all the time. I don't know how much money you think I have. Yes, I'm very, very fortunate. I do not have
JJ Watt. What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
you just walk in and claim the team, they give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, Burnley? I like to win.
Can I just plant my flag?
Yeah.
Bingo.
I'll take it.
I think with the Coyote, that would actually work.
Sure.
Joining us back after getting throttled by Max Verstappen, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Hey.
AJ, you missed some good conversation about hockey. Did you watch the hockey last night, AJ?
I did watch a good amount of that. I mean, what a heartbreaker for the Pens. They had it the whole way.
Oh, why is everybody bringing this up?
It was brutal.
Are you a Blue Jackets guy?
Yeah.
Not as much right now. I'm a Colorado Avalanche fan at the moment. Have been for a few years.
So his brother-in-law, Jack Johnson, huge mitts. Huge. We're talking about frying pan mitts. I've never seen something like it. That's his brother-in-law, so he's pulling for wherever he goes. He actually got a chance to chug out of Lord Stanley because Jack Johnson became a Stanley Cup champion.
Is it everything you hoped it would be?
It was pretty amazing, not going to lie. Jack actually just took a puck to the face and split his whole other side of his lip yesterday or 2 days ago. So he's doing well.
That is a good thing about hockey players. They will put their faces in front of these little rubber things
Yeah,
and say, bust out my teeth. That's what I want to do. I want to win a game. You would have been a pro hockey player.
Did you like the ref mic'd up thing? Like, have you guys talked about that?
This was a beautiful moment between Kelly Sutherland, Sidney Crosby, and the future of the NHL, Connor Bedard, right before the puck drop on opening night.
Oh, damn it. I missed it. Very tough.
Season. Connor, welcome to the NHL, man. Okay, guys, it's showtime. Let's have a great game.
Sid didn't say a thing to him.
Nope. No,
Sid didn't say anything. And Kelly Sutherland was waiting until Connor looked at him, too. Connor? Welcome to the NHL. Thank you. Let me fix all my... Oh, you're dropping a puck. Oh, fuck. All right, let's get this thing started. Kid forgot his stick going out there to begin with. He's the future. How much do you know about him?
I know a little bit. I mean, I know he's obviously an unbelievable player at the junior level, but I mean, to his credit, like, tuned in last night just to watch him play. Like, I wanted to see what that was like. I wanted to see how he played. I saw the whole stick thing. I saw the story behind the stick thing, which was in a whole nother rabbit hole I went down, which I went pretty deep in the hockey rabbit hole last night.
Ooh. So that's a thing, the stick thing? Because I know he had his helmet was off.
Yes, and they let him and the other rookie, I think, do the pregame skate without the helmets. But then you sent in another thing that was pretty sweet about his mom, too.
Yeah, his his mom, yes, his mom was the coach.
Yes.
So his mom wanted to move into no, JJ, you pick.
Slow down. Jesus. Head out of the gutter.
I just react to the words I hear. I just react.
Well, we appreciate you being that invested in the conversation and reacting to everything. But the way you reacted tells us a little bit more about you than it tells about us. Just want to let you know that. But anyways, here's the coach of the Chicago Blackhawks talking about an interaction with Connor Bedard's mom.
We're going to move into the same apartment building I was in, and his mom like, well, yeah, we don't want to get too far ahead, and he's got to make the team. And I kind of looked at her, and I said, I think you can look at me.
That's that hockey mentality, though. Like the most humble group of humans of all time. It feels like it's an old school throwback sport. You love the sport. Would you have been a pro if you would have played? Stuck with it? I assume you would have.
I mean, I like to believe so. I mean, I truly love that sport, man. I started skating when I was 3 years old, and I love that sport. And I still say, like, the puck hitting the back of the net is one of the greatest feelings in all of sports. And I had so much fun doing it. But I also, at the very same time, and now that I'm an adult and I see it all, so my parents, we had to stop playing because it was literally too expensive. You have to buy new skates. You have to buy new gear basically every year because you're growing. And so when we had to stop, I cried and I cried and I cried. And it was so sad for me. But now that I'm an adult, I feel so terrible that I feel like selfish because I was sitting there crying. And as a parent, to see your kid crying because you can't afford for them to play a sport that they want to play, like, I can't believe I put them through that because I can't only imagine now seeing my son with that reaction. So I feel bad. Apologies to my parents, but thank you for supporting it as long as you did.
Hey, hockey's expensive. That's what they say, and they don't really explain it much. But that's JJ. Now, that goalie, obviously treason right there immediately. But we need to have a JJ Watt. Look at that. Hey.
It's a bomb.
Little C-bar South. Little C-bar South, baby.
Hey, you're a fucking guy on the ice, JJ. That's for real.
Oh, it is for real, man. I love it. Up there in Wisconsin, you have to be. You basically put on skates as soon as you can walk. And my dad would take me to the rink all the time and play hockey. And we'd go to Milwaukee Admirals games. That's really one of the first professional sports experiences that I had where I got to go see it. And I got to, catch tickets dropping down from the blimp. I used to love those moments. And that's one of those things that inspired me to be a professional athlete. I'd go watch the Milwaukee Admirals play. And I'd think to myself, one day I could be out there warming up with the pros, and it didn't happen to be hockey for me, but it did help me get to the NFL.
Hey, you got some mitts too, huh, pal? You see him dangling a little bit. Good guy. You would have had to fight.
We got any skaters on the show? Anybody here skate?
Nah, we played on the street, pal.
We skated in New England.
I can skate,
yeah. You have to skate in New England.
I'm from Michigan, same deal as Wisconsin, is exactly what JJ just said.
You guys are skating on lakes trying to do triple axles. Okay, you're not
No, we aren't. No.
You're
not Gordon Bob Day.
I played hockey before I played any other sport.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
In real hockey cities. That's how it works.
Yeah, right. You guys are sailing up there. You're not.
in the summer.
What'd you say?
The bean pot up there in Boston.
Thank you, JJ. I mean, let these guys know. My God, it's about time someone with some real hockey sense came in here.
Ty can skate. We see him skate around the office all the time.
Yeah, that's right. I prefer blades. That's my weapon of choice. But, if you want to get me out on the ice, I'll fucking go blue line to blue line pretty goddamn quick, yeah.
All right.
Come on. Are we just abandoned? Oh, we're not on the. Never mind. All right. Gosh, I'm an amateur. Get me out of here. What a shit show. Sorry. I thought he said the F-bomb on the air again.
No, that's only you.
Yeah.
That's only you.
Yeah.
Professional.
The window has closed, my friend.
You
We
can
can
say it
say
right
fuck
now.
now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Do you want to let something fly, JJ, now that you're all grown up and you're a dad and your kid's watching? Do you want to drop any? Here's Ty. This is Ty.
Oh, no.
Well, you can see that's quite the drop off the stage there. I mean, you're not typically doing that on your standard rink.
Those are sick blades.
Run that back.
Yeah.
On the start.
Yeah, this is the launch of the NHL playoffs, I think. Look at the dangles. Look at the goal. Yeah. Scored.
Yeah. Oh.
What were you? Why, it looked like you knew the drop off was there, and yet
I did.
still botched it.
Yeah, he was trying to do a little trick. He's trying to do some tricks. You know,
Our
he's
TV.
flying around.
By the way, our TV's being leveled by a couple DVDs.
If we want to look at the old school off pause, the look at the bottom.
The helmet.
That's only hockey lid.
Yeah,
That's only hockey bucket we had
didn't have
at the
this
time.
one just yet.
That's why we bought that one,
bingo.
actually. But yeah, that TV
Those are
stand.
DVDs down there?
Yeah, had to do it. You know, you think the stage would be level, but over time that just doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Boy, that place was such a shithole. I mean,
It was fun.
I am so happy we are not in there every single day anymore. It is
no.
great to be here.
The ceiling in there.
But
That doesn't get enough talk.
Clap it up for the progress of the show.
Yes.
Clap
Hey,
it up
you're
for the
right.
progress
Clap
of
it
the
up.
show.
Clap
What
it
a
up.
good job.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
You've been watching Gary V's breaks on Fanatics Live. Have you seen any of these?
No, I can't say I have. What is it?
I'll send you the link next time they're going.
Yes.
You'll love it.
It is must watch.
Make sure you got a nice glass of vino if you're watching.
Yeah,
JJ.
in about 10 hours, because you will not be able to turn it off.
I'll tell you what, I got captivated in there. I got lost in there. I watched.
Cancel your plans.
That's what I'm
Cancel.
saying.
Yes.
The wife was
Really?
fed
It's
up.
like trading cards? It's like opening cards?
Well, it's Gary V opening Gary V-Mon,
V-Mon,
which are the cards that he created.
He's the boss.
And he's beat the bosses the game where he's going against somebody in the chat. And he's living and dying with every one of these cards that he's doing. I mean, it is, I'm telling you, I almost saw that guy get broken because there was a slow snail that came through and dropped an elbow on his optimistic opossum.
Yeah, he lost the Luka Doncic rookie card, and it basically seemed as though one of his kids died, and then he also mentioned right after he's got about 15 Luka Doncic rookie cards, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was an awesome night. We spent a night with Gary V, and I did not plan on being there that long, but me and about 300 others sat on X and watched.
Couldn't stop.
From the very beginning to the end. And
what a treat.
Gary, thank you for everything, dude.
Love you, Gary.
Thank you.
I would say my wife was not happy at all.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't.
She couldn't see the electricity.
She couldn't sleep because she was too excited. She couldn't sleep.
I don't know if it got her
that
so
makes
jacked
sense.
up. She only had the audio. She didn't have the video. Need both. Need to see Gary while listening to Gary. She could only hear him yelling out of my phone because I had that thing at max, too, because I didn't want to miss any words in that entire thing.
Right.
I'll send you the link next time, JJ. Get you inspired.
Yeah, I love inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday. I love inside jokes.
All right, sweet. Maybe one day. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ
All
Watt.
right, guys.
Everybody.
Thank you.
I had a random question.
What do you mean?
Out of nowhere. You watch Gary Vee?
Random?
Well, he said clap it up. That's the last time I heard that.
We asked everybody that. You asked Trey Young that.
Yeah, I know. That's what got me thinking. You asked Trey, "Hey, big Gary Vee guy?" He's like, "Well, yeah, he comes to the game.
Yeah,
I know.
hell
he
yeah.
sits front row."
Gary, keep doing these breaks, dude. You're right back in my algorithm.
Yeah.
With
Is that what it's called? A break?
Yeah, breaking boxes, dude.
But is he doing it? He's doing it live on what?
Fanatics Live,
Everything.
X, Instagram, TikTok,
What?
MySpace,
Okay.
Facebook,
GaryVee.com.
Discord.
his website.
I know. I'm asking for the people that
Don't
don't
be an
know so they
asshole.
can go find it.
You don't have to go find it. You have a friend
You
that will
sent me
send
the
you the link. Yes.
I had a very nice friend that sent me a link and said, "Hey, you will thank me later." And then 12 hours later, I sent you a thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome. Let's get to a break. We have a college linebacker joining us on the other side, and this dude's awesome.
Oh.
I think we're going to be very excited after we chat with him. I believe he's a Florida man who happens to play linebacker for Oklahoma. And it appears as if he is quite the character.
Yeah.
Not only is he a character, though, he's an incredible football player.
Yep.
Off a massive dub in the Red River rivalry. After a massive dub in the Red River rivalry. After a massive dub in the Red River rivalry.
Boom.
There it is.
That's like real world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, tough.
Tough.
Road rules in real world.
Yep.
After a massive dub in the Red River rivalry, Danny Stutzman will join us on the other side to chit-chat about all things college ball, Oklahoma ball, and getting a real tattoo on his thigh.
I don't think so.
Fake tattoos? That's what we're leading with. I'll be excited to see where we end up with. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Lou Holtz.
Coach. Hey, thank you very much for having me back, Pat. First and foremost, listen, I don't know what the fuck happened, okay? I'm there at the start of the game. I'm with a lot of my former players, a lot of sweet boys who wanted to see Coach Lou. I wanted to see them as well. I watched the first half, Notre Dame. They played pretty well. I mean, they hung in. And then I did what I always do. I flipped the channel over, I watched a little bit of Matlock, and I went to bed. That's what I do every single night. It's kind of my routine. I love that Andy Griffith, but that's beside the point. I wake up on Saturday morning, and I see Ryan Day taking fucking shots at good old sweet Coach Lou. It's bullshit. I mean, you go back, watch the game. Was I wrong? What did I say? I say they get out physical, and I said they get beat by Alabama and Georgia and Michigan twice. And Ryan Day's acting like some goddamn world beater. It took him the entire fucking game, 5 seconds left, to beat Notre Dame, okay? And they did it with Notre Dame. Had 10 guys on the field, 2 fucking plays in a row. Okay, so he can take his victory dancing. Oh, I wonder where Coach Lou Holtz is. Hey, listen, Ryan, I might not always know where I'm at, but guess what? People do know where I'm at all times. I ain't fucking hard to find, pal. So if you want to come talk your shit and say anything and sit down with me, you come find me, okay? I'll be standing here right on Library Lawn in front of Touchdown Jesus. We can talk about things, but don't act like I'm some dipshit. Okay, like I'm some moron. Listen, I know Coach Lou's old, okay, but guess what? Coach Lou can still read, okay? I was on Twitter the following morning, and guess what? Ohio State fans were talking that sweet shit all night long, saying, hey, this Ryan Day's a big dumb dipshit. This guy doesn't know how to call a football game, okay? They were ready to fire your ass 30 minutes into that fucking game, okay? You're lucky you won, son. You're lucky you won. And at the end of the day, Pat, AJ, all you guys know, if he doesn't beat Michigan, it doesn't fucking matter. Ohio State fans expect them to beat Notre Dame, okay? It's a much bigger game for Notre Dame than it was for Ohio State. But I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm 86 years old. You want to pick a fucking fight with me? I was sleeping, for Christ's sake. Just let me be, okay? But if you want beef, come find me, okay? Because I got beef all night long like Fogo de Chao. All you can eat, Ryan.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Anything else, Coach?
Thanks, God. Yeah, Notre Dame's fine. They're going to be just fine, okay? Sam Hartman still, I don't think his jersey, it wasn't that dirty. I said that was going to happen. You look back at it.
Field turf.
Basically, shut your fucking mouth, AJ. Show a little respect, will you? Okay? Basically, everything I said came true. So, yeah, Coach Lou may be getting old, but I think he still knows a thing or two about football. Go Irish, and Ryan Day, like I said, hey, you want to throw hands, buddy, come find me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Love you, Coach.
Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. You know, whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the
only smart thing to do would be give back.
Stinks here, huh?
What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood's named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we're in currently.
I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do.
You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody?
I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at.
I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else.
And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is.
This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and then he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm gonna try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm gonna give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm gonna give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm gonna give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm gonna give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're gonna have $2 million in this fund that'll just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from here.
Sweet stuff for sports.
Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about.
Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, like the Indy.
You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go.
Just want to do what's right, but turned around and got dropped.
Great sportsmanship.
Into the cover, he has sportsmanship, but Mia Hill just picked up her first win ever in NXT.
Here is your winner, Thea. Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Trenches Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is our life. That man was very good at football, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, former linebacker of the Green Bay Packers and Cincinnati Bengals, and
Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons for a minute, yep.
ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. The Talk Table is here at Bus Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. 12-year NFL vet, offensive lineman, player coach, Super Bowl champion, a member of the community. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. Sweet hoodie.
Double salute.
Sweet hoodie. You know what I mean? What do you think of that hoodie, AJ, with the community hoodie?
I love it. We all need community, so AQ's just spreading the good word.
That's right.
That's right. He's like a safe space.
Yeah.
If you need something, he is the community.
Yeah.
Come to
Really?
him and ask him questions. So if you're traveling later, maybe to Arizona, in any of these airports, and you see this man, come up and ask him questions. Life advice. He is your community in one human being. We appreciate you, AQ.
Thank you.
We need that. Everybody needs
That's
that.
right.
And 9-year NFL vet, an absolute stud. A man who played every single position in the secondary. Host of the Man to Man podcast and everything DB, which was fantastic yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Come on, D-Bud.
D-Bud, you and me were on the sideline down there at the Red River rivalry in Dallas, Texas State Fair. One of the greatest environments I've ever seen.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. 250,000 people at the State Fair. Then you got another 100,000 people in the Cotton Bowl watching these two teams battle. The one star of the game, Dylan Gabriel, quarterback of Oklahoma. Rushed for over 100, threw for over 250 plus, absolute dog. But on the defensive side for Oklahoma, a man that we knew of because his stats were ridiculous. He was leading the Big 12 in tackles before the game, still doing that afterwards. A man who stole the show because he's built like a damn defensive end, playing middle linebacker. Number 28, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Stutzman.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, sick shirt. Hold on. Let's dive right
That's
into
so
it.
cool.
That's a picture after the big time win of you smoking a cigar.
I'll see it.
Is this for sale right now?
It is for sale, actually. Appreciate you trying to plug in my merch. You know, you can find it on my Twitter. You know, I am also at the end of the day a broke college student, so anything helps. I'll send you guys some.
No,
you know,
don't send us.
plug you guys up.
We'll buy 20 of them. We'll buy 20 of them and make you have a good time in Norman. Hopefully we'll be able to contribute to the boys having a night sometime. You guys still do that? Boys still have nights?
Yeah, man, it happens all the time, especially with the bye week. You know, some of the guys get together, you know, maybe hit a karaoke night or something like that. You know how it goes.
Okay, so the boys over here would like to send the boys in Norman through your T-shirt 10 to 15 drinks. So we'll buy 50 of those shirts, and then we'll end up giving them away. We're proud of you, man. Way to run a little business, too, in the middle of this whole thing. Let's move along here in the conversation. Texas, the convo was, they're big, they're fast, they're strong. They've already proven themselves. They beat Alabama at Alabama. Oklahoma, with the stink that your team had surrounding you last year, coming into this year, I think people were just expecting you guys to fall in the big moment. Then we saw this video after the game of a speech that you gave beforehand, and I think you all knew immediately you were going to win, but you speaking to the team has made its way public, and this is a little bit of a highlight of that.
Hey, man, remember last year? Remember that feeling in your head? It's a new guy. Hey, you'll feel it from me. I swear to God. Man, the way we win this game, physicality. All four quarters. They gotta feel us, man. Every day. I'm certain about two things in life. I'm certain that one, Oklahoma only fears God. And number two, Texas fears Oklahoma.
Whoa! What a moment. Was that the message all week from Venables and you and the boy? We got to be more physical because that was certainly the case. Is that the mindset going in? And congrats to you guys executing.
I mean, absolutely, man. And physicality, you know, is the number one thing in football, especially in that Red River rivalry, man. You know, looking back at the history of it, you know, the team that wins the rushing battle and the team that wins the turnover margin is the team that's going to win the game, man. And that's how you got to dominate up front, man. And that's how it's done. So that's kind of was the whole emphasis, man. It's been the emphasis since last year. Obviously losing 49-0, and as a competitor, man, that's embarrassing. That's humiliating. You know, being a part of that. But you know, we had a lot of guys, you know, leave, you know, their winter break early, get back on campus. You know, 49 med balls every single day, pretty much at workouts. Be reminded of that, and it's just the grind that we were willing to do. You know, for that moment right there.
Love to hear about that. Did you black out in the middle of that speech, or was that premeditated out there?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I felt like I kind of remembered that D-Hop clip of him talking about how he only fears God, and I kind of took apart from that and then kind of made it my own. And because I remember Dan Cody, you know, another crazy defensive end that played at Oklahoma, told me you always got to have a crazy speech. And so now I try to think of some stuff to really get the guys going. But, you know, kind of off the dome right there. If you want to get the guys pumped, obviously in a game like that at 11 a.m., a lot of emotion, man, you know, especially with a lot of people that didn't believe in us. You know, like yourself, Pat, you know, we saw the clip.
Yeah, okay.
But, hey, it's okay. That's what we need.
I know now. I learned. Okay, I apologize. I can only go off the information that I have in the moment in which I'm speaking.
Yes.
And that Texas team, when we saw it play against Alabama, it was like, this looks like college football playoff team. Like, this is what this looks like. And I hadn't seen you guys in person. Yeah. As soon as we saw you guys, were like, hold the phone now. Hey, Oklahoma's got some big boys, yourself included, Danny. Loved watching your team. Go ahead, AJ.
So we were lucky enough to be right there in the end zone on the sidelines the whole game. Is there any way for you to explain in words what that felt like once the clock hit zero and you guys won? We were watching you guys celebrate, and we could just see how excited, like it just seemed like the greatest moment. And so what was it like on the field afterwards and also in the locker room?
Yeah, you know, on that field, you know, specifically that last play, you know, obviously when there's like a Hail Mary type of play like that, where you can't really control because you're not in the end zone, you know, being a white guy that can't really jump, they don't want you back there. They blitzed me, you know, probably a little bit better idea than just run back there. But, you know, the ball was in the air for like, it felt like forever, man. And just kind of feeling hopeless because you can't do anything back there, but obviously when the ball hit the ground, that sense of relief, man, working so hard for that moment. Obviously it's just one game in the regular season, but, it means a lot to the state of Oklahoma, looking in the locker room and seeing where that trophy case looking all empty, especially for the guys before us being keepers of the room, having that trophy there for so long, it's kind of been the narrative that what Oklahoma does. And, get it back finally, kind of clear up all that bad juju to say, man, just really, really proud of the team and how they performed.
Yeah, and if you think about the Oklahoma fans, if their year-round life is anything like what we saw, the amount of shit talking from Texas and Oklahoma, I mean, everybody is this, or like everybody in people's faces. As soon as you see just somebody wearing orange, boom, right there, if you're an Oklahoma fan. And if you're a Texas fan, as soon as you see anybody wearing Oklahoma stuff, it's like right in the face. So you guys last year, I assume Texas fans thought you guys were dead. Like Venables has come in, this is going to be a whole new team. So to get that win at that moment, I assume it's not just the players that are feeling incredible, the coaches that are feeling incredible, but the Oklahoma fans can once again say, hey, we're a fucking whack. You guys really are. Like, do you have the belief? And you said 49 med ball throws, and obviously you think about everything in the 49-0 game since then. But going into this year, did it feel like this team had the makings of a team that can go on a run? Because you are right now in a driver's seat to get everything that every team wants at the beginning of the season. Going in, did you guys know that? And how do you feel about the boys now?
Absolutely, man. With Coach Venables and the culture that he's brought, we're really prepared every single week. We prepare to a standard, not to the opponent. So every single week, nothing changes. Really, we have a lot of talented guys. Last year, with Dylan Gabriel getting hurt and everything, it kind of set us back a little bit. But really talented team, man. A lot of hardworking guys show up every single day, committed to the standard, committed to what it takes, man.
Tell me about Dylan Gabriel. I mean, he was cerebral, methodical, and then he was 120 yards, I think, rushing on the ground whenever he needed it. Took some big shots as well in there. Didn't blink whenever they needed him to make a big-time play. Tell me about your quarterback and your guys' thoughts of him in the locker room.
Yeah, Dylan has the it factor, man. He's really a Heisman, kind of dude right now, man. The way he's playing, man, the way he can sling the ball. I played with a lot of great quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler. You've seen a lot of great guys come through here, but the way Dylan handles himself is already like a professional, man. The way his eyes are, he looks one way, and he's already knows his decision. He slings the ball across the field the other way, and just talented the way the guy operates, man. And really, we do team movies every single Friday, and I've never seen him watch the movie. He's always on his iPad watching film, studying. Being the most prepared guy because he doesn't want to be the dude who makes that mistake. That's just how Dylan is every single day.
What was the movie before Texas that Dylan Gabriel didn't watch?
All right, so last year we watched the movie Amsterdam, awful movie, and then for 11 a.m. kickoff, like we were supposed to watch 300, didn't work. No. We watched Amsterdam, got our tail spanked. And so this year, no movie went to bed super early, so we were really prepared.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Not even going to roll the dice on whether or not the movie stinks or can work. We got early bedtime. We got Texas in the morning. Darius has a question for you.
Yeah, you guys were really prepared. And obviously, the identity, a lot of people say the team takes on the identity of their coach. Want to know, number one, how's it playing for Venables? And number two, what was the mindset on that goal line stand? I know the defense started off the game. I think it was Gentry Williams with a pick on a slant early, so you guys came out the gate firing. But what was said? What was the mood in that huddle when it came to that huge goal line stand for that defense?
Yeah, started off with Coach Venables. A lot of people don't know, but he's actually our scout team quarterback. And for your head coach to be the scout team quarterback and pick apart the defense, because realistically he built the defense. So when he's out there slinging the rock, kind of embarrassing these dudes, we have to bring it every single day. And that's the type of dude you want as your head coach, man. Someone who's not he'll lower the shoulder, he'll run you over.
Is he in pads? Is he in pads?
He's not in pads, man, but you'd be surprised, man. Coach V's a guy waking up at 5 a.m. to run stadiums. And he actually hurt his meniscus, and he was still at practice, slinging the rock, man. It doesn't take any days off.
Oh, no, he's in a training room getting his thing. He's got his ankle. He's getting his ankles taped before practice. How you doing, Stutzman? A fucking cook you today.
It's insane.
Is that real?
He gets more treatment than I think some of the guys right now, man. He puts a lot through his body, but, kind of looking back at that goal line stand, man, it's just the mentality, man. Obviously, when you get down to the 1 yard line, Texas has their jumbo package, whatever that means, bring in their defensive tackles. Yeah. And we have our linebacker, rolled down at DN, coming in there, Deshaun McCullough. Kudos to him, man, brought it to him, smacked him. And then our Kip Lewis, a sophomore coming in, haven't played any snaps all game, making 3 big plays in on every tackle. And at that point, it's just heart, man. It's how bad you want it, man. How bad you want to be remembered, how bad you want your legacy to go as an Oklahoma Sooner.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
As far as how physical you guys were, like that was a very, very physical game on both sides. But I noticed from the jump, from the first play, you guys, especially on defense and your offense too, you guys were trying to be like, you were the aggressors. You were going downhill and giving little nudges after the whistle and little holding guys down for a second. Nothing dirty, but you guys, it looked like you were at a conscious effort. Like, hey, we want to be the more physical team. Is that something that you guys take pride in?
100%. Coach V always says good things come to those who attack. You can't really wait for anything, man. If you want it, you got to go out and get it. And that's kind of been the mentality of this team all year.
Hey, we were watching, the game, and I just got done with game day right into it. I just got done picking against you, then go right into, which I apologize. I learned. I do apologize. But then we go right into it, and then we do our first one, and it was pick. I think first series, second play, you guys get a pick. And we went to a commercial break, 45 seconds into the game. Those first 5 minutes were the longest 5 minutes in the history of football, which is a compliment to you guys. But as soon as it's up, AJ was like, the Oklahoma team is the one. They're the, you know what I mean? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, look after the play. They're getting up off the guys. They're letting Texas know, hey, we are the physical ones here. And AJ played the same exact way. So I think he knew early, hey, this is a little bit of a different game. It wasn't like you guys were scared, not that you should be, but with the complete opposite, you guys are supposed to win that game. It was cool to watch it unfold. We were lucky to be there. No phone service, didn't know what down it was, how many yards you had to go, but it was awesome to be there and watch your team work. AQ has a question for you.
Yeah, Danny, after a huge win early in the season, how do you avoid the letdown as we go later in the season, and how do we kind of keep the foot on the gas pedal moving forward?
Absolutely, man. That's a great question. It's human nature to get complacent after a win like that. But obviously, I talked about it earlier, we prepared to a standard, not to an opponent. So the way we prepared against Arkansas State was the exact same way we prepared for Texas. Into this bye week, we had a Monday lift, had a lift this morning, talk to the guys, look, this is where we separate ourselves from, being a good team to being a great team. I think good teams come into a bye week, kind of let off a little bit, don't put as much weight on that bar, and great teams really push themselves, really strive, to do what it takes. We have a full padded practice today, and I've already told the guys, look, this is where we have to be physical. This is where the reps really count. We can take care of our bodies, but every single practice matters. We can't let a day go by where we're not getting better. You
got a massive neck. Did you see that, AJ? As he was talking about, we got full pad practice today. You got a big time neck. We're hitting today, huh? Stutz?
Oh, 100%, man. Coach V's got to look out, man, because we're coming.
Hey, tear his other meniscus.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? What are we even talking about? What's your nickname? They call you Stutz?
Man, yeah, pretty much. Stutz, kind of, I don't want to steal the Boz's thing, but, it kind of just rolls off the tongue smooth, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, the nickname is a big part of it, especially if you're going to have a merch line. Stotts doing his thing. Speaking of who you just mentioned, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Danny, we saw the Boz kind of patrolling the sidelines during the game, and then he was obviously in the locker room with you guys post-game. Crazy because it seems like you are kind of the second coming of him in terms of just the way you look out there, your personality and everything. What's your relationship like with the Boz, and what did you have any time with him before the game where he kind of maybe gave you some advice going in?
Yeah, throughout the entire game, the Boz was on the sideline. When you have one of the greatest linebackers to ever play, really kind of revolutionized the position. When he tells you something, and when he's like, you got to find the over by the tight end. Obviously that's you're thinking that right away, man, because this guy knows what he's talking about. And, the Boz is, he's come by, he's been a part of the program a lot more. He spoke to the team, before the season. He spoke to the team last year, just all about mindset and attitude and how the guy handles himself, man. So anything he says, I'm like a sponge for that knowledge, man, because, he's been through it. He knows exactly what it takes, exactly what it looks like.
What's your major?
I was business, but had to switch to communications.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Yeah. I was communications major as well. I did not finish. I'm still in my pursuit of my degree. Sounds like you're a pretty intelligent dude, though. Or is that just football IQ?
I'd say it's a little bit of both. Obviously Coach Venable is always, that's a dude that has memory like an elephant, man. He's always spit off stats. I think the first time I met him, he took us to dinner, and I sat next to him. And he was quizzing me with stuff, and I got every single question wrong. And at that point, I was like, man, I'm screwed. But, he kept faith in me, kept pouring into me. And, here I am today, man. But yeah, I've been raised good, man. Try to be smart at times. Obviously, we play linebacker, so in a few years will probably be different when I hardly.
No. A few years, 10, 15 years. This is what your future looks like.
You're wearing a special helmet.
That is what your future looks like right there next to us, in front of a fake bookshelf. Oklahoma fans obviously know that you're all in on Oklahoma. You've been there for a while, a lot of transition. Now, Stutz, I'm gonna let you know. After talking to you, I love you. Okay. Absolutely love you. After watching you play football, love you. Yeah. After the cigar thing and the press conference moment with Coach Venable, love everything about you. Just want to let you know, love everything about you. This tattoo you got on your thigh, though, real?
I mean, I kind of kept up. I can actually, it might be real, it might be fake. I think you guys can see it right there.
Yeah, it looks pretty real.
It's pretty real.
Hey, it could be a temporary tattoo, man. I'll kind of leave it up. Maybe in 20 or 25 years, we can go back to this discussion. But, Texas fans, it is whatever they want to believe. I'm kind of getting backlash. They say whenever I'm taking a shit or something, I'm going to see it. But, I'm staring at my phone anyway, so I don't really care.
Stutz. I love that you're a legend already, pal. I don't think you had a link to your shirts, so we made a little scan thing for people to be able to purchase this for you. Let's go ahead and support Stutz.
Hell yeah.
Let's go ahead and let Stutz have a good time while he's in college with his name, image, likeness. This is the exact purpose of this type of thing. Dude balls out, has a massive moment. We can give our congratulations through a purchase of a shirt. We're proud of you, buddy. Keep crushing it, and congrats to your Oklahoma Sooners for having a great start this year.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. This is an honor, man.
You guys play West Virginia this year or no?
Yeah, we do.
In West Virginia or in Oklahoma?
No, we played them last year at West Virginia. They freaking got us, man. I can't believe that.
Did we?
It was the first time in a long time.
Morgantown's a tough place.
Dude, it was freezing cold, rainy. It was brutal, but yeah.
Welcome to Big 12 football. Okay, sorry about it. Anyways, good luck the rest of the way. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Denny Stutzman. Stutz is a legend.
Yeah, he's a beast. Awesome.
Stutz, I was business, but had dropped out of communications. I would love to know the decision. Yep, we've all kind of know exactly what happened there. How about them doing the 49 med ball things? I love that type of reminder every single day. That's a big time college thing, but also obviously a motivator.
Yeah, motivation, especially in a rivalry game like that. He talked about seeing the empty trophy case, and I think he said keepers of the house, what they say there. So I love it, though.
Yeah, Venable seems to have the boys flying. His defense, whenever he was at Clemson, super sophisticated, right? That's what they were like, hey, this guy runs a super sophisticated offense. Got to have a lot of smart people in there. He drops into Oklahoma, and it's not good. Defense was actually bad. Offense was bad. Dylan Gabriel gets hurt. Nothing really takes place. And they're like, what the hell's going on defensive side of the ball? Now, feels like it's his, got some transfer, got his, feels like it's his defense. And I'm happy for Oklahoma, even though they're leaving the Big 12 right after this year.
Yeah.
Going right into the SEC. I love it.
Good move.
I'd run from West Virginia, too. That's what you said, good move for?
No, it had nothing to do with West Virginia. Absolutely nothing to do with West Virginia.
What does that have to do with?
Going to the SEC, you kidding me?
Yeah. And I noticed the SEC doesn't want West Virginia in it either. So
nope.
That makes sense, Greg Sankey. I wouldn't want him either. Our rifle team would go right in the SEC and outshoot all of them.
Tear them up.
Our men's soccer team, dominate. Women's soccer team, beat them all. I think our women's soccer team's number 2 in the country or something like that.
Wow.
Damn. Men's number 7 in the country. Damn. Rifles never lost. I don't think they've ever lost, ever. They had them take on Navy SEALs.
Wow.
Jack Carr, right?
Let's come on.
Jack Carr, I thought.
Jack Carr was a member of the West Virginia Mountaineer Rifle team.
That was alumni.
And that is why that thing. Now, if we're talking football, I don't know if the West Virginia boys will be able to handle the SEC week in, week out, but who can?
Maybe.
Bingo.
Who can?
That's right. Nobody. Not even the SEC.
Oklahoma can.
I think they're built for it. Texas is also built for it.
For sure.
That is I think people say I sound like I don't know anything about anything whenever I use this as an actual reason why somebody's going to win. But in football, size matters. It is, in a fight game, in physical combat, size matters. And if size can move, okay, those are two boxes that get checked that another team doesn't have. So, some of these teams, whenever you're trying to judge college football, It's pretty easy to see who's probably going to win this game when you got 6'4", 320, 6'3", 315, 6'6", 295 taking on smaller size at offensive line. It's like across the board, this team's bigger, stronger, faster, probably going to win this game. Now, there might be a fluke that could take place and it doesn't come together, but there's no chance a team isn't going to be big enough to go to the college football playoff. Got to be big, got to be. And Texas was big when we saw them.
Yeah.
They were SEC big when we saw them. And then watching Oklahoma, it's like Oklahoma's fucking big too. And it's because they're going to the SEC, I assume they're able to start recruiting SEC-style players.
Size matters, and then quarterbacks matter. Texas got Arch, and then Oklahoma got a kid named Jackson Arnold, who's the number 1 quarterback coming out of Texas this year. So they're set there too. So
We saw Arch Manning's locker. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying there are some outliers at times. I feel like when you guys were
our West Virginia team.
West Virginia, I don't think you guys were the biggest team, but that stretch zone with quarterbacks, Pat White, Slayton, and what y'all had on both sides of the ball, actually, y'all had some dynamic
scheme.
Scheme.
That was your
scheme.
That was your big thing last year, though. When you went to TCU, Kansas,
saw how big TCU was.
They were huge.
It's like, oh, these are adults. Yeah. This team that I'm standing on a stage and I'm eye to eye with all of them as they're jogging by. Like, oh, there's the offense. All right, I'm eye to eye with them. Oh, there's the tight ends. Eye to eye with them. There's the linebackers. I'm eye to eye with them. They're D-line. They're taller than me. I'm standing on a 6-inch lifting thing. I'm like, these fuckers are huge. I had no idea they were this big. I like them all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I like the big team. Our West Virginia team, they don't make them like that anymore. And I say our because I happen to be there, but I was riding the coattails of a lot of people. We had dogs all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those guys would be allowed to play D1 football at this stage. Most of these guys. You know what I mean?
Be out.
Myself included.
Yeah.
Like with the way we were living and the thing, like that we would have got sent to NAIA, I think, with the way our team was built. So there's a little different. If you can find a team that has what our West Virginia team had, just a chemistry though. Like our team was so tight.
Brotherhood.
And I have never seen a group of people that were more different coming together than that one right there. So if you can find that, I think that's good as well. But if we could have a little bit more size, I think we all would have been okay with that if that would have taken place.
Well, it really was, though. Like, I mean, it's one of those things where when you're on the sideline like that, it's so much different, and you have to, like, kind of double-check a couple times, look at the program. Like, no, there's no way that dude is that fucking big. Okay, it's not just, like, a trick that my eyes are playing on me. And, like, the technique and stuff might be different, but the O-line versus the D-line, like, that looks very similar to, like, what you see in an NFL game. It's like, oh, the size here is crazy.
Speed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I do need to make a correction. The West Virginia women's soccer team is currently ranked 120th in the country.
It's not terrible.
I thought they
Close.
were
Not
like
terrible.
undefeated.
there was a 2 in there.
Could have been worse.
Did you say they hadn't
well,
lost like in
actually.
5 years?
I didn't know.
Nah,
actually-
rifle teams never.
Yeah, rifle team.
From 2 to 120.
They started out. They were ranked too early, though.
They started off the season.
They had a couple tough weeks, I think.
Come on, ladies. Let's
Come
go,
on.
dude.
Right on the cusp.
WVU's
How are the Plum E-gamers doing? They doing all right?
currently 4 in rifle.
Who?
WU.
Whoa.
No.
What, did we miss one bullseye? What did we, is that why sorry.
Yeah.
We missed one. A guy sneezed while he was shooting. Sorry. Sue us.
Yikes.
Heart rate raised just half a beat, and we weren't perfect. 4?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Are we in the middle of season right now, rifle season?
I don't know. Just looking at the standings.
We didn't finish 4, so yes, we're certainly in the middle. Don't you worry. Whenever push comes to shove and the pressure's on, that's what the West Virginia rifle team is, pal. What a joke, saying what you just said.
Not even on the podium. Yikes.
Yeah, we just beat the fuck out of Akron. That's what I thought.
Akron isn't even are they even a top tier rifle team school?
Well, that's how we started our season. So what do you want from us? Okay. Akron said, we want to sign up to take on the best. And they said, is that right? And didn't even miss. Didn't even miss one bullseye. Not even outside the inner circle of the outside of the outer circle. We're talking in the inner circle.
Oh.
We're talking red dart game.
So this is like college football playoff committee. Unfortunately, they were not dominant enough against Akron to be number 1.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this ranking system. I'm not happy about it. We get to the bottom of it.
Guys haven't won a national championship in a long time.
What?
How
long?
2017.
2017.
No way.
Oh, no.
Are you
What the
kidding?
hell's going on there? 2013, West Virginia.
I mean, there was
2014,
quite a
West
run, yeah.
Virginia. 2015, West Virginia. We're going the other way, Z. Thank you, buddy. 2016, West Virginia. 2017, West Virginia. What happened?
Oh, I got a new horse. Kentucky.
John Hammond must have retired.
Kentucky,
Harry Mullins has
Kentucky
those
and
boys
TCU
buzzing.
have found their shots.
Dude, Alaska
Fairbanks going to win for the next 30 years.
Well, everybody traveling to play against them. What do we do? We got to fly to Russia?
Yeah.
I mean, they got a 20-hour flight? You think they're able to just pop out and start sniping bullseyes?
Nope.
Why is Ohio State hosted all the time?
All right, it's not in Alaska. It's in Ohio State.
Yeah, why are they hosting?
West Virginia's
Where are
real
they
close.
Bullets, duh.
So Ohio
Where?
State
Like-
probably said, you guys want to shoot a bunch of rifles? Come on. Come on in. No problem at
You're
all.
in.
Anyways, West Virginia's going to win again this year. We just showed that with what we did to Akron. We started the season hot. We're going to continue to be hot, and we're only getting better. Kentucky's back down in order, second or third, if I had to guess.
Well, TCU, I'm not sure. Those TCU Horned Frog boys looks like they are also some sharpshooters.
Well, let's get to what really matters here, which is rifle team's winning a natty. Women's soccer team needs bigger.
A little bit.
They are 5-7-3.
Oh, tough schedule this year.
We got 5 wins, though. 120th.
Yeah.
You would think you wouldn't even win 5. I assume that's probably D2 schools that we played against.
Well, yeah, but those 7 losses were against 7 top 10 teams.
I have been informed that the University of Pittsburgh women's soccer team is good, though.
Oh,
that's good news.
Those
Nice.
WVU and Pitt, like you wouldn't think that they'd be good soccer schools, but they have been for a long time.
Well, that's where, Western Pennsylvania's got good soccer players. Yeah. That's where I grew up. I was lucky to do that. A lot of great players. Not as fast as some of the people, but
Gritty.
we'll fight you.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a red card, and then we'll flop like we're offensive linemen.
Boo.
What's that all about?
Ridiculous.
Do we even
I'm
want
not happy about
Do we even want to do it in the
15 yards,
trenches
though.
anymore?
Should
got
ban
15
in the
yards for 'em.
trenches.
Oh, we got some good trends.
AJ, that's good silver lining. You know, like they did get a first down and all that, and the offensive lineman helped, but like the overall image is like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Embarrassing.
It's not good.
Can you imagine if Swifties are watching this and this is the first time they're seeing a game like this? Then what?
Yeah, then what, AJ? Hope you're happy.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm happy by this, but I'm saying he did get his team 15 yards.
Any other punter's been flopping a long time. Okay, some of us chose not to. Some people are not happy that we chose not to because once again, it is a first down if you just fall on your face right here. Some kickers flop, basketball players flop, wide receivers flop. We can't have offensive linemen for the good of the sport. We just can't have it, AQ.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's a bad Green Bay.
Send an email.
Yeah,
Green Bay.
You see what the fucking offense was doing?
I did.
I mean, we needed that.
I mean, Green Bay's the epitome of toughness, too. Like, that's
old school.
Old school. The original.
Yeah, used to.
I don't know if they've been the epitome of toughness.
But when
for a
you
while.
think football, you think Green Bay.
No, they
Frozen tundra.
playing through injuries.
Not anymore.
Unfortunately, Vince Lombardi ain't walking through them fucking doors, AQ.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, and he cares more about, making sure his eyebrows and his chin straps lined up than he does about our offensive line playing tough. So maybe that's a problem.
It's a good chin strap.
It's true.
Great eyebrows,
Yeah,
dude.
Great lineup.
Looks great.
I'm happy that everything we did led to that moment.
Me too.
I'm pumped that we got there. Shout out to us getting tied to say the truth.
Boy, Ty.
That's how Ty feels about Coach LaFleur. I do believe Coach LaFleur, though, has the rest of the season to make up, right? He can turn the.
The rest of this season, probably rest of next season as well.
I mean, this
good
guy's
eyebrow lineup.
fucking clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
Beard.
If we could zoom in on the beard thing.
Yeah, wow.
Look at that line.
If my players are wearing a chin strap, so am I.
Eyebrows look good. Beard looks good. Decision making on fleek, obviously.
Yeah.
Whenever he's calling games.
I need my eyebrows lined like that.
What's this? Your eyebrows are allowed to be eyebrows, dude.
No, I think that looks pretty good.
You should do a chin strap.
You do that red light thing, trim up his eyebrows.
I don't do that.
What's that?
The trim up of the eyebrows, but I need to after seeing this. This is incredible looking.
Yeah, he looks really good.
AQ's 5 fight camps away from being Matt LaFleur.
What happened with Bader's fight?
Guy pulled out on Monday. That's bad look.
Why don't you
Bad
fight him?
look.
Monday, Wednesday. Yeah, why don't you fight? Maybe
5 days before pulled out.
the fight was on Saturday?
Yeah,
This upcoming Saturday?
last Saturday already happened.
Oh, so we already passed the time Bader was supposed to fight?
Yeah.
Bader is your fight camp that you've been in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've been training with. Yeah, not part of the fight camp.
What?
Oh, is this like levels to this shit? Like you have
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's definite levels. Once I saw them get in the cage, I said,
Do you have stitches in your nose?
"Relax, dude."
Is it a yes or no?
That's a no.
It does look like it was quite a little injury, though, as we zoom in really tight on that. So Bader now trained for how many months?
7-week training camp. I mean, just got after it. He was ready. He was ready to roll. And then 5 days before, you just pull the plug.
Why? What happened? The guy got hurt?
The guy said he was sick, said he couldn't recover in time by the fight. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say that guy could be my ass, so I'm not going to say it. But you've been training with him, so you're in the fight camp. You're allowed to say that.
That's right.
So what will they do? Will Bader fight again or no?
Yeah, he's waiting on whatever the next one is.
Why don't you do it? Tell us you've been training. This is what you've been training for.
Step in.
Get that check.
You don't want to be a champ?
No, I think I'm good.
You want to do it in the trenches?
Oh, yeah, let's go. We got a good one this week.
I don't know. You got offensive linemen flopping all over the place.
Well, I'll tell you who's not in.
It better be good.
In the show this week, it's Green Bay. Green Bay's not.
Or New England.
Oh, wow.
Or New England.
Thank
or the
God.
New York Giants, who had a rough week.
Lael Collins, though, worked out for them.
That's right. They need some reinforcements.
Steelers in it?
Well, let's talk
Steelers
about Lael
aren't.
Collins right before we get to who's in it. Are the Colts in it?
Colts are in it.
Whoa.
Everybody can fuck off. That was good.
Whoa.
That was really good.
was
Lael
good.
Collins worked out for the Jets and the Giants. Lael Collins got hurt in January, right?
Yes.
So he'd still be recovering from that particular thing. He's getting signed to any team that needs help anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. And when you put him at guard, he's really good. When you put him at tackle, that's obviously his natural position, but he can help any team right now. And the Jets and the Giants need help.
All right.
The Jets just lost Vera Tucker, I think, the second year in a row. Tough.
Same field.
AVT with Achilles. He'll be out there with J.K. Dobbins and Aaron Rodgers, we assume. If they start healing Achilles, I thought about this yesterday too, because the J.K. Dobbins stuff got picked up. And then Aaron alluded to AVT, also had an Achilles, and maybe he was going to be there. If they can heal the Achilles faster than anybody else, whatever they got cooking in that little room there is going to become, right? That's where everybody's going to head for the Achilles, AJ. That type of shit happens overnight too. I'm not saying that this guy just got learned about, but if success happens with Aaron, people already seeing it, every team will be like, this is where we're going to try to go to cheat the game of this Achilles thing.
Yeah, that's how doctors get that's how they make their name. I know Elitraj is already a huge guy. The guy that fixed Shannon Sharp or Sterling Sharp's nasty turf toe situation, Dr. Anderson, he's like the foot guy you go to now. He was in North Carolina. I think he's back in Wisconsin now. But yeah, you get known as the dude to go to if you have certain injuries on certain things. And it seems like Elitraj right now he's the Achilles guy.
Dr. Andrews is orthopedic guy. He's down there in Birmingham, Alabama, I do believe. Everybody heads down there for a surgery. It's just kind of what you know. Like I had to have a surgery on my dislocated kneecap or whatever. And they were like, you're going to go to Dr. Andrews to do this. And it was a 2-week wait or something like that because he had surgeries lined up. I was like, I'm going to get my shit done right here. Get my shit done right here, and hopefully it works out. But everybody's trying to get in there. For the foot thing, you said that guy. And then Achilles, it's like, all right, we're going to Elitrosh. And
the hip guy, I think in Colorado, was like the hip.
Bill Myers in Philadelphia does all the core surgeries.
All the
Lane Johnson, like the core surgery, the sports hernias. Now they're called core muscle surgery. He does them all.
Okay.
All of them.
So this is literally what just ends up happening. If they can figure out this Achilles, though, to become a much quicker thing than it has been, good on them and good for all the sport. So Lael Collins, though, we think good for either of those teams.
I mean, they have to. They have to get veteran help. And when your team's not playing well on the offensive line and you've given your chances to the rookies and you've let the personnel guys who they said, oh, this guy's going to be great, and okay, he's not up to speed yet, go get a guy like Lael Collins.
I have source says from inside Achilles
facility.
Yeah. Achilles recovery factory right here, bro. Going to dominate like the WVU rifle team for sure. Okay. That's from source says inside the Achilles factory that's happening out there. Everybody's going to be here, bro. Everybody's going to be here. Is what I was just told, with the bro in there as well.
Okay.
All right, so they're changing the game over there. Hey, congrats, Doc. Thanks for having us on in the background.
Keep going, Doc.
And I appreciate J.K. Dobbins in there talking shit about Achilles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was sweet.
Good vibes over there. Good
It
energy.
is. You need that.
Need it.
Absolutely need it. And if they get results as well. And then it's just like, here we go. Speaking of here we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive into the trenches.
Let's go.
We got a chance to chat J.J. Watt. Obviously, he spotlighted a lot of people tackling the ball carrier. We got a chance to do everything DB yesterday where we're chit-chatting about offenses and secondaries, making decisions or lack thereof for electrifying touchdowns on a regular basis. Now we get a chance to dive into the trenches and learn what teams are moving bodies better than other teams. Ladies and gentlemen, it's AQ Shipley.
Boys, I am excited. We got some new teams this
The
week.
Chicago Bears.
What?
No way.
Z, we got the Bears. Hey, the best thing about the NFL this year is they went to 3 views. So we get the side view, And then if you were the offensive team, you would just get behind the offense. If you were the defensive team, you would just get behind the defense, right? So now this year, we get all 3 copies. We get the side, we get behind, we get here.
It's pretty cool.
From behind the offense, you couldn't get this view. That's why I made Foxy, shout out Foxy back there, putting the behind the defense view, because check this out. They're going to run this little handoff right here. We get a little duo play, but here's the deal. Let's stop it real quick. We get center, guard, tackle, have 94, 90, 57. We get a deuce, guard and tackle, strong side, working here to 52. These two have these two. We can't worry about this guy, but guess what? Because there's a threat of Justin Fields, it handles him. Watch him freeze upfield, which opens this hole. But watch this. You get the twist right here. This is so hard for centers and guards to pass this off. They do it beautifully, and it creates a big gaping hole. We get this guy out in space. If we can run that back one more time, let this thing run in fast. This is unbelievable.
Sweet cut.
Check this out, because when he's working here, he's got to go there. Now watch this pass off right here. Boom. We switch on the run, and then we create there up to the linebacker, and then we always say you got to make one miss, and there it is.
Forbes.
Chicago.
Thank you, Lucas.
Great job by Lucas Patrick, the center there.
Why do they look good for one game every 15 games? Because they dominated the Commanders.
Well, I think what happens is the offensive coordinator swallows his pride a little bit and says, hey, listen, we got a guy that can run the zone read. We got a guy that every time we show this,
it works.
It works.
Yeah.
So every once in a while.
It's as easy as that, isn't it, though? Like the offensive coordinator, because we've been calling for it. Like Justin Fields, elite runner.
Yes.
Elite runner. The only highlights last year from the Chicago Bears were Justin Fields running his ass all over a team. And then this year it was like, going to make him a pocket passer. Needs to be a pocket passer. We're going to keep him in there. And then now, with the little bit of the running, you get this guy to get locked up because he's got to worry about Justin Fields, which takes him out of the play.
Look at that.
Takes him completely out of the play. It's 11 on 10 now, all of a sudden, because you're letting him eat.
If that's a pocket passer, that safety comes flat off the edge and makes that tackle for -1. It's a game changer.
Let's just let him do what he does. Let's just let him do what he does.
Let him eat.
Hey, look who's up.
Indianapolis Colts are back, baby. Don't look now.
Look
AFC
who's up.
favorites.
Look who's up. And check this out. Look at this guy. We've been waiting to get this guy back on the program. We've been waiting to see this guy do what we've seen. He's healthy. This is a simple inside zone play. He gets up to the second up. Now watch the finish. Let this thing run fast. Watch the finish by Quentin Nelson. Boom! How nice is that? We haven't seen that in a while. It's pretty good
nice.
stuff.
Oh, a couple years.
Hey, but we got to go back. Let's check this out real quick, because here's a huge deal. Watch him and watch Sean Murphy Bunting. They both freeze, because this is what you guys are going to miss here in Indianapolis over the next 6 to 12 weeks or whatever
15.
it is.
Jesus.
Stops him. He comes downhill because of that threat, gets him off his angle, because normally he would be filling over here because it's obviously an inside zone going left. He'd be filling here, but he's stuck in no man's land, and now he can't recover because Moss is crushing it right now.
Crushing it, yeah. What's the record there? I sent in there's some record that Zach Moss.
Highest yards per average, right?
Yeah, and also by himself, he has more rushing yards than like 16 teams in the NFL right now.
Fucking believable
Yeah.
what this guy has done to start this season, especially with the Jonathan Taylor situation that was kind of looming overhead. They end up paying him $26.5 million guaranteed over the next 2 years, and they could take their time getting Jonathan Taylor back into game shape, because what Zach Moss has done has been incredibly impressive. And also, look at this guy. That was an 80-some yard run. Look who's down there celebrating. We're going to miss this dude.
Gotta love it.
We're going to miss him.
Gotta love it.
Got to keep him healthy.
They still going to be able to run the ball without that quarterback threat.
Listen, and that's what we talked about, right? Like you saw it right there on the first 2 clips. It is a game changer in the run game, because him and him are both just frozen right now because of that threat, and it screws up everything. You get another added element. You don't have to be perfect up front. But check out, you get great block there, and you just get a little crease, and now we don't have the right angles at the second level, and it's over.
I mean, Minshew can scoot too, brother. Let's not act
let's not forget.
Let's
he
relax.
runs the same as
Let's
they
relax.
are. Yeah.
Let's relax.
Yeah, Minshew Mania runs wild.
Brother.
He's already been in there a ton too, and they've been running well. So,
What's that?
What?
I'm saying Minshew's been in there a lot already this year, and Moss has been balling. So
Yeah, bingo. So shut up, AQ.
All right, maybe
Yeah,
it'll
thank you,
continue.
Derek. I thought
Maybe
you were
it'll
going against us
continue.
right
Me too.
I thought you were going
Yeah.
against us.
Colts, come on, man.
Okay.
Maybe
you're
the
not-
Colts will
Oh, that's
continue.
one of your 8. Yeah.
What team?
You're right. You're right.
He's also a Blackhawks fan after last night. We saw it.
No, I'm a Panthers fan.
No, he's a Nostradamus, bro. He's just picking, he's just picking
Got
games,
it.
dude.
You
He's
wouldn't
picking
get it. You
games.
wouldn't know about
He's 3-0. You remember you quit the hockey show.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember?
You son of a
You
bitch.
used to be a hockey host.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
hockey
you quit.
talk?
Had to go get skinny, prick.
Sounds like whenever you have kids, it sounds like a lot of people quit the hockey show. It seems like.
Whoa!
I was trying to stay quiet.
Across the bow.
Hey, but who's counting, right?
Cross check.
That was awesome.
Yeah, 5 minutes for fighting.
That was awesome.
God.
That was great. That's Hockey Talk had a hell of a run.
Yeah, it did.
Every iteration of it.
That did.
It
did.
The short one with AQ on it, and then the one with Rupper and Gumpy and Nick.
Yep.
What a run, boys.
Hey, we're talking a lot of hockey on the big show now.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
We have, haven't we?
First game. Now, if the Penguins, start out 0-10, it'll be interesting to see where we go.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how you guys were talking about how they're all 100 years old,
Who's talking about?
and your goalie is a sieve, and you can't stop.
You're not
him.
even a real fan.
Yeah, you don't even know hockey. Your
Opening
jersey's
night tonight,
already
your
hanging
jersey's
up.
still up there.
Yeah, that's because I have respect for it. I'm not bringing it down. Have we won a game since we've been eliminated from the playoffs, boys?
No,
Okay, so why would I take it down?
but you guys had a great regular season. Don't ever forget.
Greatest ever.
Neither of the Penguins. Penguins haven't won a game since they were eliminated.
Oh, jeez.
By the Blackhawks.
What are you? What is your problem?
Huge.
Coming in hot.
Me and Nick were texting
What are
last
you,
night.
a
It's same
Coyotes?
old shit.
What are you, a
different year.
Coyotes fan
What, with
now?
the Pens?
Yeah.
They are getting pretty fucking disappointing.
2-0 lead, lose 4-2. 3-1 lead, lose 5-4. I'm over it.
What is the deal?
Jari.
Just watch the Bruins.
Save a puck, Jar.
Come on.
Come on.
Everybody else is able to do it somehow.
Just drop
He
the
needs
fucking
bigger
news.
pads. He needs bigger pads.
Yeah.
He needs a different team,
What's your problem?
brother.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know if it's just as easy as that. You know what I mean? I don't know. If
Sometimes. Fire.
No.
What about
Fire.
Louis Lasagna, the guy from last year?
God, we loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring him
him
back.
back.
Louis Lasagna.
what was this guy's name?
Domingue.
Louis
Louis
Domingue.
Domingue.
Louis Lasagna.
Unbelievable.
Louis
I think he was a Ranger last year.
King Louis.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a run.
Stood on his head in the playoffs that one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That
did.
one
That
game.
one
What's your
game.
problem?
And then they
What's
put in,
everybody-
who they put in?
Well, they have that
DeSmith.
sweet and sour
Casey.
chicken before
Yes.
the game.
Casey DeSmith.
Casey
Yeah.
DeSmith.
Spicy pork.
Listen, we're all waiting for the rebirth of Kenny fucking Barrasso.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tom Brasso.
Yeah, Kenny fucking.
Kenny Reagan.
If you could combine Tom
Kenny
Brasso
through those
and
doors.
Kenny Reagan, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying, AQ. You don't get it.
Don't let Connor tell you his goalie quit on them in the middle of a run.
That's different, Tony. It was COVID, and he was living in Finland, and he couldn't see his fucking family. Okay? Jesus.
Well, our
Welcome to the
goalie
club.
can't see pucks, okay?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder. Let's get back to fucking in the trenches. But I plan on talking hockey. 'Cause
Yep.
this year it's going to be different.
Well, tonight we got a big matchup on TNT. Connor Bedard is playing again. Pasta's playing. So you're going to want to see that guy score goals.
Of course.
Bruins win tonight.
Boom.
Hey, he's looking to go 4-0.
Wow.
He's looking to go 4-0.
Easy money. Pasta is minus.
What if you become the hockey sharp? What if that you're just 3-0 right now? Why not?
Why not?
Bruins. You like Bruins?
Yeah, I like it.
Way to go out on a
10:30.
ledge. They're $3 favorites.
Yeah,
Good one.
Pasta's also
I didn't
minus
even look at the
140.
lines, Nick.
Pasta minus 140 to score. Nobody's ever minus to score except Pasta.
That's why his jersey's in the rafters.
Bingo.
That's it.
Rest in peace to last season, though.
Exactly. Yeah,
Thank you,
bingo.
Chuck.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. We're looking to this year. We're going after the cup this year.
Our team looks exactly like it looked last year. So it feels like the same things.
Yeah, honor that thing. Honor that thing. to
Ladies and
the
gentlemen, that's Pasternak's number
That's it.
beast.
with a remix name on top of it.
Yeah.
And that Boston Bruins team right there had the greatest regular season in the history of hockey.
That's right.
And then they got bounced in the playoffs. Who cares? Boo-hoo. Can't talk about it ever. Let's go ahead and hang it in the rafters.
Great team. I mean, the Florida Panthers, hats off to them. They made it all the way to the cup, and then they lost two, so they're just like us, so who cares?
Hockey's
Thank
tough if your team stinks.
Yeah, all sports. You
Put you in a
should
bad
try
mood.
football.
Yeah,
I was in a
football.
bad mood yesterday watching that Penguins loss.
Yeah, it sounds like it's still carried into today. You've been burying them. We're only one game
Yeah, what's
into
your problem?
Yeah.
Well, that's the cool
Well,
thing with
because,
hockey.
that's because I get the text from my dad. They're fucking done. It's over.
Yeah, everybody's
Get rid of them all.
It's over. It's already before the season even starts. Penguins are dead.
Yeah, but
They're dead.
you at least get 2 months. We're 5 weeks into the NFL, and my football team's done. I don't even get any more weeks after this.
So is that one.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
More than
All
anything.
right, so first play of the game, Miami Dolphins. Check it out. Look what we got. We go a little motion here. Let's go a little motion. We're going to motion Jaylen Waddle into the backfield. Ooh. I love the wrinkles that McDaniel brings all the time. We put him here, and now we get this on the first play of the game. We get the reverse. We get all these linemen out in front leading the charge. I mean, it's just so good. I mean, him and Shanahan. What's the quote? We're playing chess. They're playing chess, not checkers. Everybody else playing checkers.
Nailed it.
What
Absolutely
they
nailed
do
it.
is unbelievable because all they do is just take little wrinkles. Everything's setting up something. They're doing something last week, and then they come out the first week. It's like, oh, shit, we got Waddle in the backfield. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? We fake it here. We fake the counter going this way with him going this way, and then we get all the linemen. Gumpy talked about it. Connor Williams being out last week, 2 weeks. He's been injured. He's back. Look at him. Bypass here. We get a great block down right here, and we get Connor Williams out leading the charge. We get the tackle on the weak side coming down, faking the deuce and getting out in front. We get all these people out. You get 3-on-1. We get the fullback out in front. It's unbelievable. I love what they're doing.
Everybody's bought in. This is first play of the game, too. We're going to go end around.
We're going to get plus 25, too, on the first play of the game.
Jeez. And the Giants' Wink Martindale's just thinking to himself, I
Here we
slept
go.
for 2 hours, woke up, cried like a baby. I should have slept soundly knowing we had no fucking shot stopping this team.
None.
Is that what it feels like with this Dolphins squad? Obviously, the Beals were able to do what the Beals did. But do you think the Dolphins team is going to be able to sustain this unstoppability?
I do. And listen, we've talked about it all the time. And their scheme is...
Achane not in.
Achane not in. But listen, they got horses everywhere. They got horses everywhere. They can do this. They can start using this if they want and do the whole Deebo Samuel thing in the backfield. They can go Mostert. Now they get Jeff Wilson back. They got guys. They got skill in so many different places.
Here's a team that's got guys all of a sudden.
Man.
Hey, so before we do this, this is what I love, right? And this is another offensive coordinator that's doing things differently. I see this play, and I've never seen all this weak run stuff that you're doing, and all they're doing is taking one thing. If you put this fullback or tight end right here on the line, it's a basic deuce formation. But it screws with you guys a little bit on defense by taking him and putting him in the backfield. Because now we say, okay, the strength's over here, right?
Goes left, yep.
So that's what it is. All they're doing is running a single back power. If you put him on the ball right here, with him on the ball, it's just a tight end there. It's a single back power. But by doing this, now you get an angle. You get him inside out, which allows him there. You also allow the guard, when he pulls, to be able to chip and help the tight end on his way through. So when he does that, he can they stay clear of the space on his way to the linebacker. You get an unbelievable deuce right here, and you get meat on the backside.
Hell yeah.
These are two of the best linemen in the game right now.
Sword
Derek
fighting.
Brown for Carolina, obviously Penei Sewell for the Lions on the front or on the backside here, and you get unbelievable movement. You get that buried right there. You get him making somebody miss.
Boink.
You have to defend the run against these guys because their offensive line is awesome and they are bringing it every time.
So because of this, strong left, right? Defense is saying they're putting left fists up because of this guy is here.
Oh, yeah.
Loud.
Wise on the ball, yeah.
Yeah,
Close
so
to the tight end that's on the ball.
So left. So they're basically forcing, right, with this guy moving to the backfield here, they're forcing the defense to expect power this way, right?
They're thinking everything's going to be this way, right? Or the other thing that a defense might think is, hey, we might run Bob weak, and then you get this. But again, it's just a little wrinkle. Now we're still able to get the double team right there. We can get the fullback inside out there. Now another thing you think, that it might be the counter and the guards or the defensive ends closing, looking at the guard, and then boom, he gets kicked out by the fullback.
Everything's on purpose, though.
Yep.
Everything's on purpose.
Big block from J-Mo there, the wide receiver, which is awesome to see.
Good to see him back.
Good to see he's back.
Yes.
Yeah.
He kind of got railroaded a little bit.
Yes, certainly. This was the first possession of the game, too. And once I saw this, I said, there's no way Panthers have a chance.
Yep. This is the first drive. They just went right down and just bully balled them.
Here we go. Philadelphia Eagles, speaking of bully ball.
You got to love what they do. First of all, let's talk about this. The LA Rams, since they've gotten Raheem Morris, they do this kind of, again, another wrinkle on defense. It's something different that you don't normally see. They go nickel personnel. They get 5 DBs in the game, and they always end up having either the Mike or the Will in some form of a 3-down or a 4-down under structure be a DB. We got Fuller working in this particular case right now as the Mike linebacker. It's drawn up exactly the way they want. We get 380 pounds at your left tackle working a deuce
on Aaron Donald, exactly what you want. You want a double team on the other team's best player, and now you get one of these two guys climbing on a 180-pound DB. Not what you want. Not your best thing. You also get a great pull by the tight end Goddard coming around. You get a rookie coming and getting a nice kick out here. Goddard comes around, boom, cleans that up. Watch this. Look what Mailata does to a DB. He moves him off the ground 3 yards on this double team right here. We get Aaron Donald. That's exactly what you want. Boom, you got him covered up. Now watch this. Watch this.
No.
Watch this. Watch this.
Boom.
Just moves him 3 yards and it just clears out.
Guy gets back, makes that.
made a tackle.
That's okay. That's okay. That's a plus 20. That's all we want.
Hey, Fuller, way to go, Fuller.
That's it.
Why was Kelce so mad on the sideline?
There was a couple things with delay of game. You know, it's obviously loud, and they got the new stadium out there, but there was a couple delay of games, so I don't know what the communication was going on, but he's just like, we can't have this shit. And then obviously they have their little beef on the side.
I love the Eagles sideline, though.
Me too.
They're awesome.
I also love that they're just winning and nobody's talking about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I bet they love
quietly.
that too.
Very quiet.
Hey, they're not the same. Well, they're 5-0 and they're beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. They're not scoreboard-wise. It's not like winning by 32 or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
So I think that's why everybody's eyes are kind of going elsewhere. AJ, we believe in the Eagles, don't we?
100%.
The Bears are back again. Is this real?
Oh yeah. Hey, we got a couple big bumps, but here before we go into this, hey, do you guys remember who I said the best lineman in the draft was?
Right.
Darnell Wright.
You were so right.
Where was he from?
Is that true?
University of Tennessee.
You said this guy's the best guy in the
I
draft?
said he was the best
I
offensive
don't
lineman in
remember
this
that.
draft.
I don't remember that.
I do.
Said right there on the putt green.
No.
With you.
You don't
We didn't
remember.
hear about
Green's
him
over
until
there.
now, though, AQ. What happened before
Well,
this?
because the team hasn't been very good, but they get a win, and let's showcase my man's ability coming around on
This a rookie?
Yeah, it's a rookie. There's a rookie.
On real? Is this a?
You still haven't answered. Has
next
he been
one.
the best?
This is a big bump.
This is a big bump.
Bump it up.
Rookie.
Rookie. Big bump. Love it. We get the counter going strong. We used to call this tackle for tackle and guard. tackle and guard. See how there's a T and a G in it?
Shit.
No.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Shit.
That's rookie on rookie. Forbes is only 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and,
right.
and
That's
he
what we
got
want.
benched.
That's
what
not
we
the
want.
else, tracks.
That's what we want. You get in his way, he's knocking you out.
How about him
You
just
get in his
running
way.
right through that guy?
Yeah.
He had two of these in this game. I don't know if Zeke saw it on a nice little screen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Forbes had a tough
What a
start.
beast, dude. What a beast. So this is all just to reaffirm what you said on one night. Got it.
Pretty good. That was a pretty good plug,
Congrats.
right?
Yeah,
Pretty good plug.
I like
Congrats,
that.
thank you.
It's
Thanks.
classic sports media.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good, really
Community
good.
guy.
Now the other thing that we need to do is, since JJ earlier was talking about Fred Warner being the greatest linebacker in the game right now, right?
Oh,
He is.
Hey, why are you doing this?
Listen, we just gotta
deal?
we just gotta bring them back to reality a little bit. Let's
That
showcase
is the reality.
22-year-old Tyler Smith, second-year pro out of University of Tulsa. When he gets his hands on you, he's gonna throw you at the fucking club.
Okay. Hey, it's one bad play of the
You
game.
can take anyone's low light reel and make
Wow.
it look like a
bad.
bomb.
Way to go.
Wow.
Hope you're happy.
Yeah.
Wait, can we see that one more time? Because it's impressive as hell to watch this
It
guy
is.
shot put a linebacker as he's horizontal in the air. Right there.
We're going to have to look up some Casey Hampton versus AQ Shipley highlights, I guess.
Well, those were some bad days. Those rookie year days were bad days.
Today's a good day, though. We
Hell
appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Great say. Great say.
Shit, AQ.
Hey, Q, you want to do a giveaway maybe for the people?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you want to do?
All right, you tell me.
You should dunk.
Want to throw
How
some,
light you are.
want to throw some footballs?
All right, you want to throw some footballs?
Bad angle into the yellow thing?
No.
Come on, dude. Don't be a wuss.
He trying to say bad angle. I like it.
It's tough. It's
It's a tough
throw.
angle.
Tough throw.
Tough throw.
All right, so you want to go for the hoop? You want to go that way?
Yeah, we'll go hoop. Want to go that way?
He's asking
This
you,
is
pal.
community's decision.
We'll go that way.
Okay, now on this one, you miss
feel like I
right,
just
the
got
ball
bullied
probably
into that.
bounced back. No, go this way then.
No, I'm going this way.
I want people to win.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me.
I would like you to make a shot for these people.
Me too.
After getting punched in
Somebody
your nose.
blew these up. These are a little more.
This is to give
We
money
had to
away?
fix a lot of the balls.
Yeah, a little more stiff.
Why don't you try to put it in the cornhole hole?
Wuss.
Oh, don't waste the ball. I was about to
Yeah.
say.
that-
All right.
All right, here we go.
How many people you want to win?
10? You like 10?
Yeah, perfect.
Sure. Yeah, 10.
10
I mean,
it
you
is.
could have said 20 there.
How many do I get?
10?
5 balls. 5 balls.
5 balls. All right. Here we
Hey,
go.
hold on. 10?
$10?
10? That's it?
10.
10.
Okay.
All right. 10 people, $500. If AQ Shipley can drain this for the brain football into that basketball hoop right over there. Now, he knows that if he misses right a little bit off the backboard with the way a ball turns over, that'll actually bank down to the left into the hoop. So you want to miss to the right a little bit and play the bank down to the left. 10 people, $500. Super Bowl champion. Can you be a champion?
Let's do it.
For 10 people today.
Ooh, AQ.
That was online.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if AQ Shipley can bury this particular football, 10 people will win 5.
Oh, that's it though.
That's the
Come on,
spot.
AQ.
A little higher.
Come on,
Ladies and gentlemen, if AQ Shipley can bury this football.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm hitting.
Yeah,
I'm
velocity.
hitting the square.
Okay, congrats.
Velocity is
Thought
too
that was
high.
the one.
Take the V down.
Hey, super sweet look today.
Thanks.
You got the maroon pants on.
Yeah.
You got the community hoodie.
His
Yeah.
shoes
You're
have
looking
no strings.
slender.
Thanks.
Oh, no strings on the shoe.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
strings.
Really?
Those are new.
Oh,
There's a couple strings. A little
You're a
crisscross.
fashion guy.
wow,
huh?
you look good.
Thanks.
With how
Thanks.
good you look, it would only be right for you to win 10 people. $500. All you got to do is bury that ball into that hoop right over there.
Swish.
And 10 people were $500 richer.
Swish.
That was
Huge.
fine.
Look great.
Kiss.
Toughish ball. Toughish ball. It's the biggest ball.
Toughish ball.
So it's your smallest hoop.
Good luck,
Yeah,
Kush.
it's definitely a kicker's ball too, because I can feel it. It's
Yeah, I think I kicked that one to myself actually in
it's
Houston.
one of these guys, right?
Nice.
I believe that is the actual ball that I kicked to myself. So let's make sure we take care of it. Don't hit the bricks. What we need you to do is hit that hoop.
Got
But
it.
not just the rim. We need you to hit the net.
Okay.
And you need to go through. And if you do that, 10 people win $500. 10 people right
Come
now
on.
are watching along saying, you know what, I could use $500.
Yeah.
You're right.
Especially going into Halloween,
Yeah.
going into the holiday
Right.
season, with where football is. $500 would change my day, change my life,
Trying.
change my perspective.
This
And all
one's
you
it.
got to do is just make one shot
This
for
one's
10
it.
people to have a better life. AQ with your sweet shoes and your super fashionable pants and your community hoodie. Why don't you do it for a community of
Done.
10 people?
Here it
Come on,
goes.
boy.
AQ Shipley.
Come on, Kush.
It's the brick.
You said don't
You literally
hit the
said,
brick.
don't hit the bricks.
What was that?
I feel like he did it on purpose.
No more balls.
No, we do have one more.
He is a high school Hall of Famer for basketball, correct?
I mean, just don't hit the fucking bricks. Kick the ball to myself. That ball was in a game from my foot to my hands.
So stupid.
And you're
I don't know
throwing.
how, I don't know how that
One
happened.
time.
You hit the
How does
bricks.
that happen?
I don't know how that
That
happened.
ball's heavier than all the other balls.
Yeah,
I don't know how you fucking go up, over, through things.
Kind of rolled off the pinky, you know?
Yeah, I'd say.
I think
Yeah.
quarterbacks, it goes off there.
All right, last one here.
Yep.
Which
Dorsal
one?
fin
Over
football.
here. No,
this-
Come on.
No, calibrate
What?
for you.
What?
Calibrate.
This is Russell Wilson's football.
Yeah, you
It
threw
is
a
now
great ball.
calibrated. Oh, well, make sure it's calibrated because you just caught it.
Chuck threw this thing up. I saw it last week. It went way up there.
It's not an easy ball to throw.
Make sure it's calibrated.
But if you're Russell Wilson, you know
Are we good?
exactly where it's going.
No, you got to twist the.
You see, it'll show you there's a
Can I
right
see it?
hand
Can I
on
please see
Yeah,
it?
make
Oh,
sure it's
make sure it's
calibrated.
fixed.
Calibrate that.
Boom.
All right, calibrated.
Boom.
It's loaded, bro.
You're welcome.
Guaranteed.
You're welcome.
Careful.
You make that ball into that hoop over there, we'll give 40 people $500. 40 people, $500. All you got to do is get the dorsal fin football into that hoop right over there.
Perfect.
Good luck, AQ. 40
Fair
people's future.
Oh.
Wow.
Not terrible.
That was pretty good.
Not terrible. All right, we appreciate you, AQ.
All right.
Man, stink this year.
Well, you're a whole new person.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get used to the weight loss.
You dress like.
That ain't just you. I stunk too. Tough year.
Let's get to a break.
Okay.
Like what?
I was waiting for it too.
What?
Like
what?
Yo, we have.
What did I say?
Like what?
I didn't say anything.
Guys,
I didn't
we could not wait.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Who was going to be the person
Yeah.
that was going to be sitting at the end of that sentence that was going to be taking some shrapnel
There was definitely a second
because of
thought.
how AQ is dressed today?
I didn't
It
say
was.
that.
Did you see? If we can watch that back, Ty's face goes. It shows the worst. It'll continue to get worse somehow too. Just know that. And we appreciate you for rocking with us. We'll be back tomorrow with a big time Thursday. Thursday Night Football kicking off week 5 or week 6 of the NFL season. How'd Jacksonville State end up last night?
Oh, boy.
It was 10-10 at halftime.
It wasn't the end.
Didn't get better
Ugly
after
second
that.
half.
Liberty's
score?
undefeated, though. They're 6-0.
Liberty, yeah.
They can run the football, I'll tell you what.
What was the score?
31-13.
Oh, yikes. Bad second half.
They're normally second half teams.
That was going to be a tough day for those Jacksonville State Gamecocks today.
Yeah, long Wednesday.
Lost all their hard edge, just got cooked in the second half. Can't have it. Hopefully that's not the case going forward. AJ, final thoughts on this particular Wednesday program?
Man, I thought it was a good program, but I am confused about AQ's community sweatshirt. Is there some kind of joke or something I don't know about?
Yeah, I think he's just the community, right? That's what it is?
The joke
AQ?
is him wearing it.
The shirt says it. That's it.
It's just a brand. That's all it is.
That's it.
What's the brand?
Got it.
Is the brand
I don't know.
community?
Tell me.
Look
What's
at
the
Ty's
brand?
face. Look at Ty's face. If we could zoom in
Oh,
on
the brand is Les Deux. Les Deux.
Can we zoom in on Ty's face right there?
Ledoux.
Sensei Ledoux.
Hold on, and it was Ty's face that made me laugh. Oh, who?
Yeah. What was that?
What is he? I was excited to hear that.
Me
That was
too.
awesome.
I was too.
What a day here on this Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
D-Buck, great work this week.
Appreciate it, brother.
You're off to where? Home and then you're Philadelphia.
Yep. Home then Philly.
NFL matchups, how's that show going?
Going great. Going great. Having a good time. Great time.
London games kind of hurt NFL matchups because that's when I would watch it. So now it's harder to watch.
How many do we have international game going?
We have
think
Tennessee,
this week,
Baltimore
right?
this weekend in London.
And then what?
And then the next one will be Finns, Chiefs in Germany. I think that's week 10. And then week 11 is Pats, Colts in Germany.
Okay, so it won't be every week going forward.
No, after this week, we have like a 4 weeks, I think, with that one.
Yeah, I'm okay with, I enjoy the game,
It's a nice change of pace.
but I'm okay watching,
Yeah, sick and tired of like the 7 games in the early window and then 3 games in the late window. So if we
this
could
one was
kind of
actually-
remedy that,
They've
What's that,
perfected that.
This one was actually nice. I think it was 6 and 4.
It was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
Pass.
perfect.
We have 2 weeks. So the next one after this weekend is week 9.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some time. Let's enjoy this morning football.
Hell yeah.
Okay? And then let's go into a perfect NFL Sunday after we bet everything right.
Bingo.
And we're going to start that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We're going to hit all of our bets.
Yeah.
AJ, I don't know if you've seen, I've taken a commanding lead in our picking.
Oh, have you? Yeah. I know you've won at least the last couple weeks.
Yeah, 3-1-1. You're 1-3-1, obviously. And
Oh, boy.
I'll tell you what, it's felt really good to go into that Monday and just know I'm good.
I won.
I'm just going to cheat and just take
Well,
whatever
you
AJ
know, especially when we're one game off, and you know that you're just going to pick whatever game I do.
Bingo. That's been a fun part of this whole thing. That's been a real.
I'm about to get hot. I'm about to get pretty hot on here, though. I can feel it.
Yeah, it comes in bunches. That's what they say, streaky shooters. That's what we all are. I think you're going to get hot as well. I think this week, actually, we're going to agree on every one of them, and it's just going to be a perfect slate for both of us.
That'd be sweet.
That's what I
Okay,
think it's going
let's
to
do
be.
it.
That'll be a lot of fun. Like, for instance, Ravens, Titans in the morning. Who do you like, AJ? Early.
I don't know. I was going to ask you who you like.
AJ. That's
You know what? I've taken the Titans. I think the last 3 weeks, I'm going Ravens.
Okay. All right. So on that one, I'd be taking the Titans there. So we would have a disagreement here early, but we have till Friday still.
that's right.
We have until Friday still.
I will say the most games that you guys have agreed on was also your worst weeks for both of you. I believe that was the bad one.
Which is completely different than last year. Last year, whenever we agreed on games, we were batting at like a 75% clip.
Yes.
This year, we agreed on a bunch of games and we're at like 22%, maybe even lower than that. So when everybody's all on board, we may need to flip the script a little bit.
Yep.
That is
like
also
the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders and Commanders.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. Big shout out to Danny Stutzman, JJ White, Bobby Carpenter, AJ Hawk, AQ Shipley, D-Butt, all the boys in the back. We are so incredibly grateful for you. Goodbye.